A nice long break is exactly what we needed to continue on for day two of Coach's Call, hosted by Ohgawdevents. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me yet again is our two casters, Soren, and actually, I say yet again, but Moniverso is now hopping on to the desk with us to discuss all of the great things upcoming in our Coach's Call tournament. Well, we've already had one unbelievable first matchup of the day that ended in a Paneko's Kittens victory, moving on to take on Ciero Miedo in our second matchup and our final matchup of the day before we go into grand finals tomorrow. But Moniverso, you are joining us here on the desk. So I wanted to get some of your thoughts about what you're feeling going into this matchup.
Well, I'm amazed at what happened last matchup. I actually was watching the game, so it was pretty amazing, pretty tough actually. Relating on to what happened on game one, but the end it was a one way to win. So I am expecting that it is as close as the previous one. So yeah, I'm just a little nervous about everything. So yeah.
I think we're all feeling some of that the nerves and the tension going into this
Yeah.
matchup. I mean, you look at how Paneko's Kittens did yesterday. Not a single map won, right? Not a single one. Granted, just best of one, so we can't fault them too much for that. We're really able to get the wheels rolling, but they weren't able to get that happening. And then to come on into day two to a 13-1 loss on your first map against Cursed Crusaders. That's tough, but somehow, some way, they were able to find the font of knowledge. The coach was able to bring them together. Paneko sat them down and said, "We just got to win. That's all we got to do." And then the switch flipped in their heads. They were able to take the next two maps, Soren. And so again, right, we're now looking at this second matchup of the day. We're looking at how they're going to perform against Ciero Miedo, and wondering if lightning can strike twice.
Zero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Your Grace. I mean, it is really I got the nice. But we are gonna take a look at the rosters here. It is really going to come down to how Ciero Miedo really took the time in that first game. We do see the roster here: Fruit Pack, Shy Guy, Doyer Boy, Kiki, and Crowfight Gaming. I mean, they obviously had the opportunity to basically sit back and watch the entirety of that last series. They know what they're going to be running into. They know the playbook and the strats because let's be real, that last series couldn't have been any closer if you tried, bar that first game. So they got to see the full spectrum, especially on a map like Pearl, which I know we haven't seen maps yet, but that might be a surprise tool that helps them later. But I mean, they had the opportunity to really take a look at this roster, see how they perform, see how they play, and make adjustments to their own game before they even had to step into the map and stare them down their own barrels. So definitely a massive advantage for the side of Zero Miedo. But man, Paneko's Kittens, you have to give them credit. So much momentum coming into this game.
Want to make one quick note before we move on from the Ciero Miedo roster. We are unfortunately not going to be seeing Kiki playing today. Instead, their sub coming in to fill in the blank. It's going to be Ink playing for the Ciero Miedo squad in this matchup against Paneko's Kitten. So just that one quick note, but I think it's now time for us to go and take a look at the Paneko's Kittens roster. Just a quick reminder, if you weren't here for the first series,
Oh,
to
yeah.
see who is playing and to give them their due, their just desserts. And of course, we have Small Banana, who gave us anything but a small performance out of that Lotus game. Chaotic Life, Electo, Noon, and SR Zoroa, with of course the coach Paneko and assistant coach Froggy Meow Meow. But yeah, again, right, we're seeing another sub coming in, Moniverso, for Ciero Miedo. We had one on the Cursed Crusader side where Kaiserine wasn't able to step in, and now that's a potential another sort of maybe pain point that Ciero Miedo is going to have to deal with against a Paneko squad who may be tired but feeling pretty good.
Yeah, like I would be feeling pretty good too if I did a backflip at what was the last match, you know? Like it was a whole other level, a whole other mentality that we had there. And well, Cerro Miedo needs to come and give their name the title, no, without fear to, well, to crush Paneco's Kittens. So I think having a sub actually can help them because they can actually use it on their favor because they haven't seen how they played. So yeah, I think that would be a surprise item that we can use later. So yeah,
The surprise tactics, the things that you never see coming, is
yeah.
always going to be the worst fear. It's definitely something that they're going to have to keep in the back of their mind, and I think something too that Ciero Miedo is also going to have to be wary of themselves as well. The surprises that could come out against themselves if they aren't ready for it. But now we need to figure
No,
out
yeah.
where exactly we're going to be going in our second matchup of the day. And hey, you know what? We may have a scent, but at least we have Fracture, which is going to be our first map of the Ciero Miedo versus Paneko's Kittens matchup into Pearl. And if we need to, we go into Ascent. And so, Soren, we were discussing beforehand. You let out the biggest like gasp of happiness upon seeing Fracture. You were so excited. You were so flummoxed, floored, even some might say, about seeing this map being our first one.
Flummox is definitely a new word for me, Your Eminence, but I'm glad you're adding to the vocabulary. I really am excited. That was only partially hyperbole. I am really, really excited to see Fracture in the pool. We talked a little bit behind cameras that whenever I'm asked my favorite maps, I get raked across the coals. My top 4 maps are everyone's least favorite. They comprise of, in order, it's Fracture, and then it is Breeze, and then it is Icebox, and then it is Corrode. People hate it. So the fact that we have Fracture, and the fact that Fracture is even in the map pool, I am so thrilled. It is my favorite mainly because of one simple factor. You can't play Fracture like any other map in the game. If you try to bring tactics from any other map in the game into Fracture, you are not just going to lose, you are going to get dominated. You entirely have to change your playstyle. You cannot be defensive on defense. It is that Roman style attack where the best defense is a good offense. You have to be playing for space. You have to be taking space whenever opportunity arises. And for a lot of teams, you struggle with that. So I think this is actually going to be a kind of an upswing for Paneko. If this was going to be a map, obviously we saw them on the triple site maps and they kind of struggled. We saw them do well on Pearl, but it was still a close game. This is a map that we haven't seen them try at all yet, and there's not like a playbook that they could have seen or they could bring into this map. So this is the one map where Ciero Miedo is going to not have a lot of info on how they want to play it.
And this is a fairly fun agent select that we have going on so far. Ciero Miedo, you can tell that they played this map a lot. They've got the lock-ins almost instantly, or at least hovering the agents that they are. Okay, never mind. They're throwing it all out the window. I felt like they were prepared, but then all of a sudden they switched over to Vito. They switched over to Yoru. Ciero Miedo says, to hell with your nerfed duelists. We're going to pick Yoru and we're going to pick Neon. Okay, there we go. All right, they were messing with my notes. Okay, all right, now it's all making sense. This is the more standard stock style composition that we get out of Fracture from Ciero Miedo. Paneko's Kittens, though, almost that same flavor, very close to it, but instead of the double initiator, it's going to be the double duelist. Now, here's the interesting thing to note, right? Is the Tejo being skewed from Paneko's Kittens in favor of the Jet money verso. And I'm wondering if Paneko's Kittens feeling like Zorua occupying that Jet is going to give them more value than what you could possibly grab from a Tejo, which has been a very popular pick on this map.
Well, Tehu, yeah, it might be a popular pick, but as Paneko's Kittens want to start on the attacking side, knowing really well that Fracture is attacking side, even on defense. So I think double duelist might be actually really nice to help them get a little bunch of rounds before the change of sides, and doing what if they do what they did on the last map, changing the and everything when trying to lurk and getting the first kill over the other team. I think that 4v5 would be all for Paneco's Kittens. So the double duelist, I think it's the best pick for them to like get secured onto the third map.
And something that I kind of want to touch on here a little bit, Soren, since we've watched a whole bunch. Well, not only watched but casted and host talked over these matchups for Paneco's Kittens. That Paneco's Kittens have already been through 3 games so far, right? And Haven was Haven for them. It was a tough matchup. It didn't go their way at all. We can be honest about that. The next 2 maps after that were long, grueling map sets that I think would have taken the concentration of even the best of players and dumpstered them. And now they're going to have to potentially play, at the very least, they're going to have to play 2 more maps, potentially 3 maps. And it's that kind of exhaustion levels that once you've already played like 3-4 hours of Valorant, you're looking at more of that ahead of you. That can be a scary prospect for even the most seasoned veteran.
Absolutely, my Burger King. I've been thinking about it, right? I really have, because that is that's the one that finally broke someone. I have been thinking about that because we've been saying it a lot, but I want to pose a different viewpoint. And I don't know if Paneco's Kittens are listening in, but I hope they are, because there is a whole different perspective of this. It's the fact that they're not supposed to be here. Let's be so for real. Almost everyone, and probably including them, after that game number 1, thought that was going to be a quick series, a quick 2-0, right? The fact that they go on to win Pearl, massive coup for them. The fact that they go on to win the entire series, that is explosive. That is much farther than they probably expected to go. That's much farther than the viewers at home probably expected them to go. That is a massive win, and no matter what happens for the rest of the series, for the rest of the day, that is something that you could tip your hat at and say, that was an incredible performance. They might be tired, but everything from here on, that's just cream at the top. Like everything here is just them getting more. So they don't have that pressure. Ciero Miedo are coming in as the 2nd seed, looking to just have to take out one team and make it to the grand finals tomorrow. Easy cut. But now they are having to play a game where a team that just pulled off a massive upset is coming up against them, and they're now saying, oh, sure, they're tired, but we might be next up on the block, plus we have a sub. There was a lot more pressure on Ciero Miedo to perform and get this win than the likes of Paneco's Kittens. So I know they're tired, but I think they actually, in their own weird way, have a bit of an advantage because of how tired they are, if that makes sense.
I think something was formulating there. They're tired, and so that's going to give them the buff that they need. So hopefully that is going to give them the buff that they need, because now it is time for us to go into game. So Soren, Moniverso, I leave it to your amazing caster powers to guide us through this matchup of Fracture.
Wow,
Well said
that
there.
no, like you have a point, Soren. Right now, like Ciero Miedo has a lot of pressure because it's like when you sleep 8 to 10 hours and you wake up tired, and then you sleep like 2 hours only because you pull an all-nighter sleeping, well, no, not sleeping, studying, or maybe playing Valorant, and then you have full energy. I think that is happening to Paneco's Kittens.
Absolutely. They have nowhere near as much pressure on their shoulders as their opponents. Ciero Miedo obviously just need to have this one series. They just need to take it the next 2 games and they're locked in, sure. But also they now have the pressure of not wanting to be the 2nd team upset on the day. But we are firmly underway here. Again, Fracture, a very different map from anything else in the pool. You have to play completely differently here. And notably, we see them, this defense, pushing out and taking space as they're supposed to do, mostly towards that south side of the map, while the rest are sitting towards spawn. Meanwhile, this attack side, Paneco's Kittens have already taken B. It is already under their control, and Spike is going to go down very quickly.
Well, I think it was nice for Paneco's Kittens to actually secure the V side. I think it's one of the most difficult sides to take over being on the defense. So now it's gonna be a situation very, very difficult. Dofir here that has the first kill, and then Fruit Packs that is helping to get the 3v4. And situation is equal because Mr. Sora has the second kill on their hands.
Mochi going crazy, bringing in the momentum from the last game, and just like that, who said they're tired? Because it doesn't look like they've missed a step. That is going to be first round. This is only the second time we've seen them win a pistol round in the last 4 games so far, including this one. So immediately an incredible start from Paneko's Kittens. That is going to set the tone really quick, and it looks like Mochi has not fallen away, already getting 2 kills so far this game.
Well, getting 2 kills so far, it's only gonna help get the ult on the 3rd round even. So Paneco's Kittens first round, first pistol actually helps them secure this round. So yeah, now we have Ciero Miedo trying to rotate onto TT, but over here I think Noon has it covered with the fault line and everything, but hey, Ink was just saying through the walls.
Yeah, the Breach just staring at a wall. They were so focused on trying to get that the fault line down that they didn't hear the stomping from behind them. I mean, it wasn't quiet. Okay, they do lose 1 member, but in the end, the kills do go the way of Paneko's Kittens. So they've only lost 1 member, but notably, that does mean Doya Boy has the Bulldog in hand. So a little bit of extra firepower as the spike goes down. They're going to try to re-enter site here, but a crack in the smokes might give away. Nope, smoke falls finally, but they're going to both restart it there, as that's a lot of damage being taken by both these last 2 veterans of Brim and Breach. Going to try to play for tower. Doubt they're going to get too far, as that one way is deadly, and that is going to be another multi-kill round. 3 kills this time around for Mochi.
Oh, that's pretty nice actually. I think Paneko's Kittens has it covered, like all the sides that you should read or you should actually know how to lurk. They have it covered. And well, Ciero Miedo tried. It was nice to lurk and everything, but I think it might have helped them better if they changed a little more the time of when they were trying to enter where Paneko's Kittens were. Because okay, they had only the Ghosts, they had only the classics, besides a semi-buy from Paneko, so it was a firepower overall.
Absolutely here. And now, as we go into the bonus, it is going to be a pretty light round for Paneko's Kittens. Notably, 2 of them are going to be spotted. Crow is going to find 1 before getting traded out. This Mochi continues to be a menace. Finds 2 before the trades come through. And in the end, a chaos on point is going to end up settling out to a 2v2. Noon and Chaotic versus Shy Guy and Ink, the sub, coming in for Kiki. Spike is going to go down. Pink Shell's going to come through to try to deny or delay it. Not going to do so, but Noon's going to take a little bit of damage. Roomba going out to get a little bit of information. It's going to spot the 1 down below. Are they aware of Noon up top? They're going to see him, but it might be too late. And now suddenly, this is looking dangerous. 1v1 bonus round. It is full rifles across the board, and Chaotic is able to win it out. 3 on the round for them, as Paneko's Kittens, momentum firmly in their favor. They have not missed a beat or a step since their last series, and they've taken the first 3 rounds in a row.
No, Paneko's Kittens on fire actually. So kind of weird, because as we were talking and as Sam was saying before, Ciero Miedo has this like normal composition, normal draft where Fracture has been played a lot, or well, that's what Ciero Miedo's compo and Ciero Miedo pick is telling us. But Paneko's reading them like an open book, so they should be able to kind of change the style here. but I think it's gonna be pretty difficult in that here with the nanoswarm making a little shock, but it was for them to actually enter the B side.
Alrighty, very quick take here. They obviously know that they're going to have the gun advantage no matter what happens, so they just force the issue, force their way onto site. It does also just force Miedo back, and they can try to run and hide as much as they want, but with only Sheriffs and Classics in hand, the gun power advantage seems like it might be a little bit too much. 3, 4 kills, make it 5! This time around, it is not Mochi, but the start of the last half, the last little moment of the last series, Jess coming alive there for a 3K. 4 in a row. I would not be surprised if we see possibly a timeout come out here, but it looks like Ciero coaches are going. Nope, never mind. Spoke it into existence. We have a timeout here.
Well, nice timeout. Miedo hasn't like I don't think they have like the right agent to play against the double duelist situation because Mochi and the Small Banana are making a lot of damage. They already have their ults ready, and even if they actually lose one or two players here on the fifth round, going ult would be the first thing they can do. Fruit packs that actually can help out and make Shy Guy get the showstopper can actually make a kind of small difference. It's not going to be that great because the showstopper, if you aim it wrong, it's going to be an ult lost forever. So Paneko's Kittens are making the best to get a little bunch of rounds, so on the change of sides they can be free of getting one or two wrong.
Absolutely. I will say there, unrelated to the timeout and unrelated to the state of the game, Ciero Miedo's coach is absolutely winning me over. Stitch is one of my favorite characters from any IP ever, and I saw
Really?
he had a plush of Stitch. I love Stitch. So Ciero Miedo is winning me over bit by bit. But we are getting back underway. I actually really like this 0-4 timeout for them, obviously, because this is also the round in which they have the full buy. So many teams, I feel, choose to do their timeout the moment they feel the game slipping, but a lot of times it's during like low buy or eco rounds where they're not going to have the tools or equipment necessary to actually implement the changes that they want to. So the fact that they use it when they have 4 rifles, I think, is already a big boon for them. They are
Yeah.
playing and slowing it down, though. A little bit of poking, prodding, getting that ult orb, and it looks like A's where they want, but man, slow take so far. Fake out with the smokes.
Yeah, faking it. Maybe it was like one situation where they wanted to charge the defense side over to B, and it was helping out. But then, well, A side is gonna be the one to plant the Small Banana that has the first kill. Actually, really nice. And now we get to get the entry and the planting of the spike.
Alrighty. They are able to get that first kill. That's massive. First kill has been oh so important. We see the orbital laser coming down. That's going to deny the plant. They need to clear smoke, or excuse me, flash comes through. They're able to find 2 immediately as the retake makes its way. We do see the concussion blast forcing Noon off position. It is a full post plant situation. 1 by door, 1 by drop, and 1 in halls. But 3v4, they need to make it up. Orbital laser is in play, so it is going to be a full post-plant situation. KJ is spotted up in top. Are they going to deal with Ace? Yes, they will. But so much time has been invested and wasted. Pax needing to turn around to help. The swing through finds Noon as well. But now Chaotic is finally going to be taken out. Spike going to be defused. They try to use the advance. Oh, the molly, actually, I can see there. I think hit off a little bit left. So, unfortunately, they had all the util they needed to stall out that defuse, but that final molly just did not quite hit its mark, and because of that, that defuse went through.
Yeah, actually, the molly was one, and then, well, I think it was nice for Ciero Miedo to actually pull through with that full buy. So it's going to be only Shy Guy that has a bulldog but has the showstopper on their hands. So getting Paneko's Kittens one round not on their favor. I think it's really nice for Ciero to change the mentality. Now they're splitting, and I think that's really nice and something beautiful. This map fracture that they can split and lurk both situations.
And we do have a listen in here for this round.
Oh,
I got mollied off.
oh,
I'm
sorry.
Or double mollied off.
They threw Molly from something. They're not on
Keep
site.
point,
They're not on site. I'll come fight flank with you.
Arcade.
Arcade.
I'll come
Where's
fight.
Jen?
There's two.
We're
There's two
smoking
there.
Jen.
Do we have a blind? We throw
Here,
it on
come.
like this wall.
Two canteen.
40, 120 on the
Oh,
range.
I'm low.
Can we back out?
Arcade.
Let's rotate if you can get out.
They're gonna
we didn't.
they're gonna be on A. Can we fake noise and go back? Can we freeze and fake noise and go back?
I'm lagging. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
They're
Okay,
coming
chill.
here.
We're-
They're coming here.
Yeah.
They're coming B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard one spawn coming towards you.
I think you.
Can you smoke, Jen?
I have no smokes left.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll smoke it for you guys when you guys are coming up.
All right.
Okay,
3,
3,
2,
Smoking.
1.
I'm planting safe.
And we go.
I'm going up tower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll go up tower.
Well,
Watching
actually, you
canteen.
play box.
I'll play box.
I'll swing off of you.
We have raised ulti. We have KJ Molly on Spike.
Yeah, but I need to get out.
You use delay as much as you can.
Yep.
If they're coming
Don't
out
peek.
through...
You just don't have to
Two
peek.
gen,
I'm
two
watching.
gen,
I'm
two
watching
gen.
your cross rate. It's get on spike. A little bit.
Low-key, I think I
They're
want to
all
take the space.
they're all
with you.
gen. Yeah.
Go
I
here.
can
I'm coming with you.
They're both.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
nice.
Let's go.
Perfect.
I stayed my ass tucked.
Thank you.
How am I
I wanted
alive?
just to play off of me. So.
How am I alive?
The how am I alive comment there. Definitely a very funny moment to catch on live, but another very good round one by Paneko's Kittens. They're able to do enough. They are able to also keep 3 rifles, so not too much investment into this next one. And with that, they're able to kind of continue to roll despite that one slip up on round 5.
Yeah, and I think it was pretty amazing how they coordinated with the other race, Shy Guy, that actually uses Showstopper, doesn't help at all, is moving in and that gets a stun and gets 1 kill following Alecto, and now they were trying to fake and okay, Dugier Boy was better with the bullets, better with the rifle, and now Chaotic that was helping out Shy Guy to get the 2nd kill with them.
Okay, and I was gonna say it's just down to Ace, but Ace is no more either. They're able to flood out, and in the eco round, they take space, they take kills, and they take the round in the process. That is a massive coup for them as they're able to get 2 rounds now on the board. Notably, still not enough to fully dismantle the economy for Paneko's Kittens, but it's still going to do a little bit of damage. Probably 1 more round has to go their way before it's fully decimated, but that does mean that they're going to be able to buy into this round pretty heavily. Only 1 player without full shields, and they're electing to stay on regens because it was still fully up, so just not worth the money investment. Okay.
Yeah, right. And then here, kind of changing the time of the defense. This was pretty nice for Ciero Miedo to get an offensive defense here, and it's helping them because now it's gonna be here Shy Guy that it's gonna be helping with Ink to kind of slow down Paneko's Kittens, and they are actually waiting here over to the call if someone's expecting them on B side.
Alrighty, execute comes through. We see Mochi taking space, rocket going in. And actually, sorry, I'm wrong. That's not Mochi. That's in fact Jess. I forgot they swapped over to the duelist. I'm so used to seeing them on the Rays, but that's an immediate pick. First blood going over. We do see that Armageddon waiting to be popped. Tap comes through. Armageddon is going to be pulled out. I think that's a worthy trade. Notably, though, less than 30 seconds left. There is no spike plant yet. Noon struggling to make their way back on. So much, everything in the kitchen sink is being thrown at tower, but no kills to come from it. Jess finds another chaotic with a second, and Mochi getting involved. It's back and forth we go. Round ends up going the way of Paneko's Kittens. Such a costly round coming out from Ciero Miedo as well. What is that? 3 ultimates invested, I think, off that? At least 2.
Yeah, I think they were 2 from the Tejo and from the bridge, but wow, the showstopper from Small Banana was the best showstopper I have ever seen on this day, because it was perfect, it was precise, the aim was so beautiful, and actually they won the round just because playing on time before planting helped them out.
Alrighty, as we immediately see Ciero Miedo, they are just going to stick to what worked last time on a little low-buy round, push out, play aggressive, take space, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Pincering in these players, running out of room, running out of time. Spike is down at attacker's spawn, and now it's a 2v4. Full rifles now in the hands of Ciero Miedo. Ultimate in the pocket of multiple members. Mochi spotted there. They're going to also hear Jess, so that's going to give away so much information. They just need to defend the spike, but they have to defend it for 1 minute. If they can't find Mochi, that might be a problem. Bladestorm invested. Mochi can't find a hit throw. Jess on the swing out, gets straight at 1-for-1, and Ink shot from the back. Mochi can't do anything about that, and that's going to be another thrifty round, one the exact same way as Ciero Miedo.
That's pretty nice for Ciero Miedo to just stay close to it, help them win, and get in the 3rd round. Timeout, yeah, it was pretty much necessary for Panekos, because, well, I think Mochi gets the kill, yeah, but there were the crossfire, you know. Ink was waiting onto the call, and they were just waiting for them to show up. The 2v3 situation is pretty difficult to win, but Paneko's actually maintaining their momentum, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have the 8-4 situation before changing sides.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that be the case. I mean, to be fair, this is also an attack side of map. So the fact that they're able to get 6 so far, if they do end up with that 8-4, I think Paneko is going to be very happy with that. But at the same time, if it's end up being just 4 rounds for Ciero Miedo, I think they're going to be fine with that. My rule of thumb is usually when it's a one-sided map, which right now a lot of the maps in the map pool are, 4 or 5 rounds. That's kind of my rule of thumb. If you can get 4 or 5 rounds out of a week or a half, I think you could be very happy, because one good set of pistol and anti-eco can help drastically lower that gap, and if you can somehow turn the bonus or even just convert that next full buy, you're going to be feeling and looking a lot better. But going into this round, a couple are noted out by Dish, and we are going to see those paint shells invested to try to deter them. The salvos come through, denying their means of aggress. Meanwhile, the pincer maneuvers coming through. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. I don't even know if they're tracking that there's going to be 2 members walking up behind them. They either need to make it a sight or turn around quickly. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, both are just sitting at the end of halls. Okay.
Okay.
Gonna come through.
Spike down.
Pro
A.
finds the 1, and now suddenly this attack looks a little flat here, as they're just trying to take as much space as possible. That's gonna be huge. Mochi finds 1, Stinger in hand, gonna be able to pick up the Spectre of his squad. Running gun goes wide, unfortunate. And now it's just Ace. Has to do it all, just the Killjoy, no access to Spike. It is a 1v3, and yeah, they're just gonna get the gun and run. This feels like a very good save round for them, though they might go hunting with just 9 health left.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I think it would be better for Ace to just hunt something, and kind of worried about Panekos, because it's the 2nd time they have dropped the spike on a place where you cannot get the win when going 2v5, you know. So yeah, rotating, maybe trying to get 1 or another kill so they can actually kind of help out with the economy, because Paneko's Kittens economy right now is going to be very affected after this situation from Ciero Miedo.
Yeah, I really think that was a bit of a misplay. I don't know if they intended to have the spike in the hands of the Jet who was pushing in, or excuse me, the Rays. But definitely feels like maybe a little bit of a misplay there. Typically, you would see that go in the hands of one of the initiator or the controller, someone who's gonna be making their way onto site when the main threats on the site are already taken care of, not when they're pushing in on that initial contact. But with all that being said, we are going to get a listen in for Ciero Miedo.
Ooh.
Wanted to be
Just
man.
move
Wanted
on.
to be man.
Just move
I'm
on.
done.
Just
Raise bot A.
I'm
Go
man
ahead and just throw that.
through
Go ahead
stun,
and
and they threw a KJ Molly.
You want me to drone that?
Yeah, just run it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to drop.
Going underneath.
Yeah, they're gonna pop the kill drill underneath.
No, nothing. You just set the KJ ult.
I'm popping my KJ to stall.
Okay. We're pushing up a little bit. Good shit.
Nice, good
Back
pick.
up. Play life, guys. Play life. Nice. Good shit, bro.
Checkmate.
Raise it there,
Checkmate.
raise it there.
I got stunned. I got stunned.
Do that. Back up. Back up.
Oh, three. Ult 3. Shit.
Three. Okay.
Yeah, ult 3. They're rotating A right now, I think. They were in their spawn.
Hurt.
They may go back, though. Okay, just leave somebody B. They may go back.
Carry Doey, he's 5 HP, okay?
No, they're A.
They're going in.
I'm gonna ult site.
They're
I'll
in.
pop a stun when they tap.
Anything?
Oh, 114 on Brim. It's 2 out. They're planning like open.
Spike planted.
That's where that goes.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Oh, nailed it.
At least
Perfect
towards
trade.
that. Brim one more.
I have a smoke. Were they all together?
Yeah.
Sure.
At least
I'm
2.
gonna smoke main.
One could have late work.
Nice, good pick.
Nice.
I'm gonna
114
smoke
Brim.
bomb.
They have ult.
We know they're both main.
Yeah, both main.
Okay.
Both main.
Stick it.
One
Yeah,
sand.
One sand.
Nice, last one main.
Hold. Nice!
Nice.
Good shit!
Good shit, guys. Let's go.
Shit,
Great
Good
round.
shit.
Thanks for bringing us up, bro. We just whiffed our shots.
Yeah, it's all good.
Shit, guys.
Ciero Miedo with a massive round win there. Like I
Yeah.
said, a good round score for them would be anything 4 or 5, and that gets them to 5. And really good play, good communication from them as well.
Yeah, I think the part of communication they were doing really, really well. And well, Ciero Miedo, without fear, waiting and hoping that the time didn't run out, because here Panekos were trying to play onto the time. It didn't work out for them, so now it's only 1 round of difference before changing sides. We have 2 ults for Ciero Miedo and only Noon with the Rolling Thunder one. So kind of difficult to try and enter the A side. Okay, Tejo and Shy Guy are not waiting and are not looking over them, but they have been spotted already.
Alrighty, 2 spotted by Dish. All 5 are actually there, though the defense not fully aware of that yet, hence why we're not seeing an over-rotate, but we are seeing some control taken down at the bottom side of the map. Breach pushing up. Both teams unaware that they have players on the other side, or either side of the rope, excuse me. As it looks like B is where they're going to want to finally hit. Turret's going to give away their location, as well as that fault line coming through. Killjoy's on site still, sitting towards Hall, or excuse me, main. And Breach is going to be able to have this site possibly. They need to clear it out, and unfortunately shots just go wide for Jess. And that is going to make this very difficult for Paneko's Kittens. Now a 5v4 for them, and the spike is going to be interrupted. Rolling Thunder coming through. That is going to deny that spike going down. Rocket from Shy Guy lands on the Chaotic, and now it is falling apart. Mochi's able to find 2 before being felled themselves, and now in the 1v3 in the final round with 14 seconds left to go. Ace, you've done well, but there is no magic to be found, as that is going to call the half. 6-6.
Oh my! What happened to Panekos here on the last round? I think something that they weren't expecting from Ciero Miedo was that they changed the defense to an offensive style. So getting no more time or getting one push really nice on the B side that was helping them out. Paneko's Kittens couldn't find themselves. So okay, try to start again. It's like we're 0-0 here and only six rounds to win over. So 13th round, waiting and hoping that Paneko's start with the right foot again.
Absolutely. And I mean, it all changed after that 4th round timeout. So the coach is already having an impact here in series number 2. Notably, defense looking a little similar to what Ciero Miedo started with. Not a great sign for Paneko's Kittens, but notably the attack being a little bit more passive here as well. Both sitting on either sides of B, but we make it a rotate away. Do they read Mochi? Yes, they will. Shy Guy to get the kill, and now A is going to be the final destination, at least so far. Minute left to go on the clock, but the rotates come through on the defense. Are they going to expect the full push out, though?
Oh, something that you already said, right? That Paneko's Kittens were doing the defense style that Ciero Miedo was doing on first, and then Chaotic, that it's helping out, getting the second kill, and Small Banana, that it's accompanying them. Second, she gets kill over with Fruit Bats, and now it's a 1v2 situation. Ink is really bad position, and Ace gets the kill, and now Paneko's Kittens that actually has the second pistol round on their hands, and it's going to help them out because, well, it secures them at least the next one.
Yeah, now anti-eco set up for Ciero Miedo, and that's another pistol round secured by Paneko's Kittens, which is not something we're used to seeing or saying. But, I mean, I really think that with that man advantage that Ciero Miedo had, I think they should have just forced their way onto A, forced the issue knowing that they had that manpower advantage. But instead, they play a little bit more passively. It allows time for that rotation to come through. And with that now, it puts them in a bit of an awkward position. They are going to be full saving into this round. I don't think any investment from anyone. So they are pushing on the site rather quickly. A lot of util invested from them rather early too. So they're not going to have as much access to util into the mid round, but they're at least going to get the spike down, which is going to help. Teho is going to be the one to get that ultimate point, get him a little bit closer to that Armageddon. But as soon as Crow peeks out, they immediately find the barrel of Mochi. Jess coming alive here, pushing through halls with a Spectre. Back and forth we go. Ink does find one in response, but in a game of pistols versus SMGs, it is always going to go the way of SMGs. They lose one member, but I don't think they're that mad as they're able to convert the anti-eco as well.
Well, the incendiary, I think it was pretty much early going over the spike because there was no one there before, and something very interesting that you already said too is that they wasted a lot of resources before the mid time of the round. So getting a retake situation without smokes or without mollies or something that can help out the team to just slow down the defense, it's gonna be really difficult to retake. And actually we heard him on one of the last rounds, one voice that was going over is that, well, I have no smokes, what can I do now?
Smokes down.
Absolutely. They have the singular defender on site, just Jess, who's also the Raze, not particularly seen as the best defensive agent. Oh, but Crow runs under without this gun out, and that means that they're going to find one. They are going to find Jess. Notably, Doya Boy also finds another player as they're trying to enter site, so it is also going to be the smokes down as Chaotic is taken out. But a lot of players tucked underneath site there.
Here.
There's two outlaws in play, both in the hands of Ace as well as Mochi. And ooh, That's going to give away information. Ink sitting just on the other side of this door with a Vandal. That could be an inopportune position for them, but they're going to try to force the issue regardless. And Ink's going to find two. The Killjoy holding it down. Ace has to do it all. No, cannot counter Killjoy play. The Vandal too much to overcome as they're able to close out their bonus.
Oh, nice. Vandal hero right now from Ace. And it was nice. Actually, I think Ciero Miedo was getting a little out of touch with the control, with the mental, and this round to have it won helps them out because it doesn't repeat the pattern of getting 4 rounds secure for Paneko's Kittens. So only 1 round of difference is actually really nice for them to try and change the style, try to change the strategy of entering the side where, well, Ace is the one that is gonna be refracting. It's gonna be going out of the way because they are trying to enter. Here we have the missiles from Tejo, and it's gonna be helping out because faking this plant can be really nice for them.
Absolutely. Getting onto this site, getting the plant down would be amazing, but it's going to come at possibly a very dangerous price if they try to play too aggressive here. Notably, though, Mochi with the operator on the opposite side of the map, so that's something they don't have to worry about, even if they're not aware of it, as both defenders playing off, but that's actually huge. Ace to find the first, and it's Shy Guy. A lot of util taken off the board, a lot of dangerous util taken off the board as the Raze falls early. It's a 5v4. Spike is ticking, but notably, look how slow these rotates are. They're having to cover so much ground.
Yeah, and well, Noon that actually has ink on their heads. They want to get entering the side. Fruitbacks and Do Here Boy, the birded agents that have the 3rd kill, and now it's only one small banana that is getting a small over here. It's a situation 1v3 that cannot be won because Crow gets their head, and now it's 8-8. We're equal right now in rounds.
Back and forth we go. It is down to the wire. Neither team are wanting to give anything over as we see a timeout come through here. I'm actually intrigued to see who this is going to be. I'd imagine it would be for Paneko's Kittens, though. I mean, Miedo on a run here, but I could even see them doing a preemptive timeout just to try to iron out some strategies. Okay, it is in fact Paneko's Kittens. Not too surprised, definitely struggling a little bit ever since rifles got into play. My biggest gripe with this, though, is, as I mentioned before, a lot of teams like to pull these timeouts right when their team starts struggling, and don't take into account the economy. Anything that they're talking about right now, unless they are specifically talking about thrifty strategies, they are not going to be able to implement because, look, they have no credits to buy out for rifles. So either they're going to try to force this issue or they're going to be bringing pistols in, which you are not going to get nearly as much value, regardless of what strategies you use with those pistols. So I think it would have been better used 1 round later, but that's besides the point. They're going to try to at least try to turn this round into their favor here, even with the minimal buy-in.
Well, I think if you can actually get from Paneko's Kittens 1 kill over Ciero Miedo, we can turn into Phantom or Vandal Hero over with them, and Small Banana helping out with the Showstopper. But, well, Ciero Miedo has 3 ults ready too, so it can be pretty difficult situation on retake, and getting to know that Fracture is really difficult as Ink too, because 3rd kill for the Killjoy on 1 spot. No, it can be the 4th and it can be the Ace.
This is the substitute, by the way. This is the player who is coming in to fill in. That is going to be a flawless round. But yeah, also notably, we are going to get Kiki in the next map. The Ink's only filling in for this one singular map, and they are currently top fragging on the attack side of Fracture on Killjoy. That is not something you see every day, but Ink is just absolutely frying him up. This is the exact reason why. This is the round in which you would imagine any strategies that were discussed during the timeout are going to be making an appearance. They do also have 2 ultimates, but the biggest problem for them is Ciero Miedo. Look at those ultimates. That economy is just massive for them. What? They have 4 of the 5, and the last one that they don't have is only 2 points away.
Yeah, I think Ciero Miedo would be better if they only get exactly 1 point away, and here we have Ace, and then get the dual Killjoy trying to get ahead of the entry of the B side. Now we have a small banana with the showstopper getting that kill of Eng. 3v3 situation, kind of difficult because retake is gonna be getting placed on a corner that is very kind of difficult to access.
Yeah. And now everyone playing towards tower and arcade for this attacking side, trying to hold off this retake, this 3v3. We do see Jess go through. Armageddon come out, and the rocket's gonna land. Shy Guy finds one in the chaos. I don't know if they heard the spike tap. I don't think it really particularly matters, as there's just too much firepower to overcome, as Ciero Miedo get the double digits here in map 1.
Amazing comeback, by the way, from Ciero Miedo
Yeah.
that made an entry on the first top of the first round. Kind of weird, you know, being of course their map pick. So maybe they were just trying to get to know Paneko's Kittens playstyle and everything. So now we have here Paneko's, okay, maybe without so much economy, but we have 2 ults ready, and one being Rolling Thunder can be kind of hard to play on the retake. So we without crowd now, because Small Banana with the pain shells has the first kill.
Okay, first kill, as you said, going over to Paneko's Kittens. That is massive for them. Another first blood on the tally. Rolling Thunder, though, is going to be invested. That does find the Jet. Are they able to find them? Yes, they will. That's going to be Mochi down. A big piece of the puzzle taken off the board for Paneko's Kittens, as Ciero Miedo are going to take A by force. They are able to find one, just able to find value still. But Ink is coming alive again. An absolute monster on the Killjoy. Finds more and more. And now it's a 1v3, and Ace is going to get the shots into the back of Ing to trade that one out. But in the end, that is still going to be another round win for Ciero Miedo. Puts them at 11. The economy is still booming. And now, with this full buy here, this is going to be the last opportune full buy they have. If they lose this one, Paneko's Kittens are not going to have a buy-in for next.
Kind of thinking what can be done here. Maybe not forcing would be better, because they have the Bladestone from Mochi and can be helping out right now with the Small Banana here. Double Duel is trying to anti-push the entry from Ciero Miedo and helps out to get a little of fake planting over B side.
Spike is leaning towards A. However, they are spotted over in arcade, and it is going to be a kill going over to Mochi, but Shy Guy on the other side of the map finds the opportune time for a trade, and that's going to open up A fully. There is not a defender in sight, and oh no, they've got to clear the Killjoy. They get the one. Okay. Ink finds one, makes it a trade. I think that's still worth it, taking out one of the duelists for one of the Sentinels. And now, in this 3v3, full defensive setup from the attack side, and Doya Boy finds Ace. And now, with 2 just making their way from Satellite, there's very little they can do. They're going to invest in an ultimate here. Okay, Rolling Thunder. Gonna be popped. That should find the one in the halls, but I don't think anyone's looking to the left. They need to find one. They need to isolate these fights. Trade damage, and Noon the first to fall. Mochi the second, and the 2v3 ends up 3-0, as that is going to be map point secured by Ciero Miedo, and the economy not great for Paneko's Kittens, notably, they will have some money, but they're going to be scraping together pennies to try to afford a rifle.
Right now, Paneko's Kittens are struggling like me at the end of the month. So, kind of hoping that, well, the Blade Storm, the Attack and Kill You can actually help them out and get a retake full of, like, help, right? And here, Mochi that gets the first kill with the Blade Storm, ulti ready, and Shy Guy trying to escape with the ropes here. Mochi waiting, and difficult situation for Ciero Miedo 4v5 and 4 ults ready actually for Paneko's Kittens.
Yeah, the ult economy has very quickly swapped, but notably, there's still the orbital laser, which is going to be invested. Actually, that's from Chaotic, never mind. So that is going to be used to shut down the lockdown. So Ink's ult is going to be for naught. As we see that drone coming out from the Tejo, does not spot the Brim on sight. Ooh, that could be deadly. They try to execute on everyone, floods in. There is the one lurking through robes, but that's going to be one. Zora, Mochi finds the first. Makes this a 4v5. Oh my! Mochi with 3 on the round. Jess with their own first, and now Ink has made magic happen so far this map, but I don't think they can do all that much. Ink's gonna find at least one trade, make it costly for them, make it 2, but will eventually be felled. So makes it costly for Paneko's Kittens, but Miedo still feeling good, still just 1 round away as we see timeout come through.
Yeah, Ciero Miedo needed that timeout, and actually really nice from Paneko's Kittens, hoping and holding onto the ults to get the round win. So really nice, and actually Paneko's can, with the economy that they got over here, maybe even equal Ciero Miedo, because just in case that Ciero Miedo doesn't get the 22nd round for them, and of course close fractures map, we can be given an overtime again for Paneko's.
Yeah. But I also think that this one is just an ice out situation. Obviously, they just need to win 1 round within the next, 3, if I'm correct? Math hard? Yes, 3 rounds to prevent overtime. So this feels like, hey, don't give them any momentum, ice them out, give them a timeout to think, but also to lose a little bit of that heat that they were starting to build up. Now we just do what we have been doing and bring it into this next round. I will say biggest concern though is again the fact that Ink is gonna be leaving the roster here going into game number 2 because Kiki is back. So that's gonna be something we keep an eye out here for because Ink has been oh so important. Speaking of Ink, in a 1v2 is able to find the one, not able to find the player who's picking up the orb. Takes the rope, gets away with their life. It is a heist and a half, and that makes it a 5v4 as the rest of the team is going to flood onto A rather quickly here.
Ooh, pretty nice actually. Here now, we have the missiles trying to clean a little bit. Full line that actually helps out to stun and try to slow down the planting. But okay, really nice from the bridge, so we can change where we're gonna be planting the spike incendiary to move them out from the boxes. The smoke that is helping close some vision. 5v4 situation, and Paneko's Kittens are not lost yet.
That's done.
Okay, but Ink still alive is gonna find their counterpart, Killjoy. Now, Jess tries to swing through, and that rolling thunder couldn't have been more well timed to take paid for it. And now, in an impossible situation, Noon versus the world on a 1v5. As that is going to be map number 1 secured by Ciero Miedo, who got up to a little bit of a slow start. But man, once they got rolling, they got rolling.
Yeah, they got the rolling thunder right now on the last round to help them out win. So I think Ciero Miedo with Ink as the sub was really nice too. So they actually didn't like only went seeing like, oh, we don't have a strategy to play with ink, or we are going to be like, you go over there, we go over here. So I think it was really nice, and Kiki going again, coming over, it's gonna be even better.
Yeah, absolutely. But with all that being said, just like in the first series, we're going to send it over to a quick break. When we get back, we are going to be dissecting the last map, looking forward to the second map with Sam. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to day 2 of Coach's Call, hosted by Ohgawdevents, and of course, benefiting the Crisis text line. Before we do get any further, I want to say a quick note about Crisis text line as well. As a reminder, make sure that you guys are hitting up that donation link, !donate, !charity, to donate and to help benefit Crisis text line, a very, very important organization to help support, and one that is very near and dear to a lot of our hearts here, the Coach's Call broadcast. So make sure that you're going out there, supporting them, checking them out if you would like to. We're currently sitting at 787.67 out of our goal of 867.67. So if you would, if you're interested, if you would like to, of course, we also have our donation incentives to help make it a little bit sweeter for you to get in on that. But now we've talked a little bit about what we are working for and working towards. Let's go ahead and talk about how that map number 1 of Fracture went between our two teams, Ciero, Miedo, and Paneko's Kittens, where, yeah, this was kind of a crazy game, and it looked like Paneko's Kittens had it on the upswing at a certain point during the game, but Ciero Miedo got their heads on straight, soaring, and closed out the game 13-9.
Wow.
Absolutely, my lord of the flies. Yeah, they definitely got off to a really, really strong start, Paneko's Kids. I mean, I was even talking about during the first couple of rounds that it looked like they had not missed a step. And I really do think that while it was because they were playing really well, Ciero Miedo also kind of came out not looking like a team that understood how to defend on that map. Obviously, we saw them push out a little bit, but they were not playing for space nearly as well as they ended up doing in the second half of that first half where they were on the defense. The moment, though, they had a moment to chat with their coach during that timeout, the switch flipped. They immediately started playing that defense better. Once they also got to the attack side, they did a lot better. And Ciero Miedo really just took control of that map and really never let go. But Paneko's Kittens definitely did have a couple of bright spots. But, I mean, those first kills, that was a stat that I really wanted to take a look at. 14-8. When you are constantly being put at a disadvantage because you're losing the first member of your team first, round after round, it becomes a very, very difficult time to try to crawl back in when you're constantly at a deficit like that.
No, absolutely. I do want to give another highlight to Small Banana, which, again, Small Banana name, but big performance coming up. Big Banana performance, especially considering they switched roles from the initiator to a duelist. And one duelist that I would consider to be one of the more mechanically difficult to play around with. Not only that, right, but we also, I believe, are getting a look at the stats of Ink. The head-to-head of Ink, who, fortunately, right, we don't have their name. They're disappearing Ink, is basically what I'm trying to say here, gang. Okay? But 27-15 versus Small Banana's 25-17. This head-to-head, right, between the two of them are just so contentious, and they're so chomping at the bits. But to have your sub come in, Moniverso, and not only fill in the blanks, fill in the gaps, but to walk away with match MVP to their name. You were talking about surprises. This is the level of surprise that I don't think any of us were expecting.
Yeah, I think Paneko's Kittens weren't expecting it neither, and that's why Ink was so difficult to track. The Small Banana did a really nice performance, an amazing performance, being a duelist, and of course, having Ciero Miedo not only get the sub, the MVP, but one of the Sentinels to get the MVP is something to be aware of. Because if they could do that without the double duelist situation, maybe get a little different strategy for the next map, considering that Kiki is coming over again.
That is correct. right? I've made the disappearing ink joke once, and if you don't think I will make it again, well, you've got another thing coming. Yes, ink is going to be disappearing very shortly here. We are going to have Kiki coming back, so they're taking their role, they're taking their position away from ink and coming back in as the main player, the mainstay that they are for this squad. And so now we look at a team that was a pretty decent victory on Fracture. Now we go over into our second map of Pearl, where, hey, guess what? Pearl was the map that changed the entire script for Paneko's Kittens in the previous series against Cursed Crusaders. And so now they're looking to make the magic happen, and they're looking to make that run happen again. But this time around, right, Soren, at least we didn't have a map 1 that ended 13-1.
Yeah, you're right, Hannes. It is a very different story this time around. Obviously, game 1 a lot more competitive, like you said. But there is absolutely the worry here for Paneko's Kittens, because that game was so close in the first series. Those playbooks were very well exhausted, which means Zero Miedo definitely had the time to take a look and definitely had time to watch that during that brief period of time where they did not have a game. So a lot of the value that we saw come out from Paneko's Kittens is because of that lurking control of mid space, constantly pushing up, constantly taking space, controlling areas of the map that they knew Cursed Crusaders were not operating in. That's not going to be given to them this time. Let's be so for real. I mean, if Zero Miedo did any bit of research or sat and watched the game for like 5 minutes, they would know, okay, we need to watch mid. We need to watch A main if we're going B. We need to watch B main if we're going A, because they're going to try to get up behind us. And if that happens to be the case and they play a little bit more defaulty rather than full 5-man push, I could see a world in which Paneko's Kittens are struggling a little bit more. But at the same time, who knows? Maybe that was just a strategy that they had for Cursed Crusaders. Maybe we see something brand new, because to be fair, at the same time, while they've had time to watch, there's now been 2 games between that last Pearl map and now. So maybe the coaches, knowing that this was a eventuality, maybe took some time in game number 1 and go, let's think of something new. Let's make some small tweaks, something simple that we can change that's going to flip it on its head, right? Because they've had time to react to this map pool as well.
Yeah, a little bit of dial adjustments, a little bit of on the fly. Here's what we need to do. Here's how this needs to be done, and here's how we're going to go about doing it, which is one of the fun parts about having an event like Coach's Call, is being able to make those plays, being able to make those adaptations, and helping players, especially if you're the coach who's answering that call, be able to institute those changes on the fly. It's especially one of the more valuable skills sets that teams can develop and teams can learn. And Moniverso, right? We look at the past, we look at the previous series about how Pearl went. Funnily enough, a 13-9. But with the way that Paneko's Kittens has been running, right, we're getting the feeling, especially when you look at the 4th seed going up against the 2nd seed, that Fracture still felt a little bit closer than it should have been. 13-9 is nothing to sneeze at, honestly.
Yeah, I think Fracture just went after their hands for Ciero Miedo on the first instances, and they were trying to like regain the strategy or trying to change it against Paneko's Kittens, because they were reading them very well. So that's something that they should be aiming for on second map Pearl, and being, of course, the topic for Paneko's Kittens and getting the magic on the first matchup of this day. So I am hoping that Paneko's Kittens helps us get to the 3rd map, because they are playing really well. They actually are not playing like they seem tired, And even though they have been already playing for around 4 hours, so it's nice to get a team that helps us to get our expectations high.
It really is, right? And man, you think about it, right? 4 hours of Valorant, but then I also think about, like, these are just Valorant gamers, right? I wouldn't personally, right? 4 hours of Valorant, and my brain turns to mush. Of course, playing in my ranked lobbies, and my brain's already mush going into the first hour anyways, but still, right? These are gamers. These are Valorant gamers. They've gone through the scrims. They've gone through the coaching. They've gone through everything. And so I'm sure the coaches are also helping to give them, I'm sure Paneko is having a lot of talks with them to keep the spirits up, to keep the spirits high and the energy levels elevated to be able to take on and to be able to conquer this matchup. But now we go into Agent Select and see what exactly is going to be looking like, especially if you're the Ciero Miedo squad. I hope they don't mess with my hearts too much. I hope we don't see the Yoru neon hovering again, you know, making me all excited and stuff like that. But still, we have a lot of agents that we've seen before, but one that is making their first appearance, I believe, with the Cypher. No, the second appearance, because we had the Cypher on Haven in the previous series, but now we're going to get it here on Pearl. So the first time that we're seeing it here on this matchup between Ciero Miedo and Paneko's Kittens. Only one player left to go. That's Electo, but I think we all know where that's going to be going if they keep up with the trend that they have in the previous series for this one. But now we're going to have, again, kind of that head-to-head between the Sentinels on who is going to be able to lock down their sights better. Is it going to be the KJ or is it going to be the Cypher? I'm still leaning personally for myself, Soren, on the KJ side of things with just how well this agent is able to maintain and have that map control. There it is, KJ from Electo.
Absolutely, Grand Vizier. I mean, KJ it just offers a lot of very different value than the Cypher does. Cypher is a lot more of an information gathering tool, an agent, as opposed to Killjoy, who's much better and more suited to controlling sites and controlling space on sites. So I actually think on a site like Pearl, or a map like Pearl, excuse me, I think Killjoy does find a lot of value, especially when you already have Fade, who is also a really good information gathering initiator on hand. I feel like Cypher does have good lockdown potential with the strips, but if you already have that Fade, I don't see really why there'd be too much more value for the Cypher, but I can see the massive upside for Killjoy. So I agree with you 100%. That's totally also not because I'm a Killjoy one trick. I totally am non-biased on that. But I do also like the double Astra picks on a map like this. I mean, we talked about it during the first series of the day. This is one of the biggest maps in the entire game, especially one of the bigger two-site maps. So having that global utility is really good. And part of the value of Astra specifically for Paneko's Kittens is the fact that you have that Killjoy and you have the Astra. So you have two agents that have a lot of post-plant denial potential, obviously with the Sucks as well as the Mollies for the Killjoy. So there's a lot of potential for you to just stall out a spike diffuse, and also technically the C's for Fade as well. So there's a lot of post plant situations that are benefited with that Killjoy and Astra combo where you won't get as much of that with the Cypher.
And Monteverso, we saw a lot of that in Pearl with Paneko's Kittens when they were able to get the spike planted. Getting it diffused was a nigh impossible task. It felt like even if they were able to get the spike diffused on the rare occasions that it did happen, it cost them almost everything. And again, we look back towards how their post plant looks. We look back towards how vicious they are and how aggressive the Paneko's Kitten squad can be when it comes to rebuking people who try to go for that retake.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a difficult situation for Ciero Miedo. I agree with Soren too. Like getting the Killjoy and getting the Astra combo is really nice. It's really amazing. And getting a Cypher because you already have the Fate to seek out the information. Cypher only with the old Neuro Theft, I think it can be helping out. But in that case, maybe you can just go ahead, light up a sky and get the Seekers.
Well, it is map number 2 of Pearl with Ciero Miedo looking down the barrel of victory. All they have to do is just cross that finish line, and they are going to be going into the grand finals tomorrow. But, of course, Paneko's Kittens, no strangers to being on the back foot, looking to take us to that map number 3 of Ascent. But it all happens on Pearl to determine both of their fates. Soren and Monteverso, take us away.
Pearl Our home for map number 2 for both series on the day. We already saw it get secured by one of these teams in series number 1, excuse me. But now, very different looks from both these sides, very different state of being for both of these teams as well. Paneko, Kittens, though, still similar but very different as they are once again facing elimination if this does not go their way. They are very quickly going to be making their way towards A. A lot of pressure, a lot of util being invested as they try to push on the site.
Yeah, oh, and Noon getting the first kill is actually gonna go ahead and help out Paneko's Kittens, because getting first kills for them actually is helping them to win the round. So, okay, Noon again here trying to making some damage. Mochi that helps out rotation, and the A side puts a little of fake planting for Ciero Miedo. They stay over there trying to lurk and save the mid of the map, but right now B side is gonna be free to plant.
Ooh, Cypher Cam. Okay, I was gonna say that unfortunate timing there as they look away right as the person is running through. Noon is in a very awkward spot, and Chewy is gonna find that right click onto Noon, so it's gonna be a 4v4 in the end. 2 attackers sitting in back halls, 2 sitting towards pillar as it's a split 4-man push onto site. 2 and 2 through CT, 2 through main, and Mochi is gonna shut down the 2 coming from their own spawn. Ace is gonna find one and share it with Chaotic over on the other side, and that is gonna be yet another pistol. That's 3 pistols in a row. All pistols so far this series secured by Paneko's Kittens.
Oh, nice for Paneko's Kittens. I think they have like their confidence on top. You know, they are looking really well. The strategies are perfect, and it's something that it's weirding me out is that this is the second map. Maybe we get the third on the Ascent, and Paneko's Kittens on the second map is on the attackant side too. So maybe they were trying, besides the first map, getting a 13-9 situation, going again, changing sides with a little more advantage, you know?
Absolutely, and we do see a little bit of a change up here as the defense, with just pistols in hand, are going to pull out the tried and true pack tactic mentality. All 5 working together, moving as one death ball throughout the map, waiting to find any form of contact. And unfortunately for them, a little bit of a misread, and now they are going to have to push onto a site that is being heavily defended. They're not quite aware of the presence of the attackers yet, and no one looks to the right. They're able to find one, make it 2 as Doyer and Shy Guy both find a pick a piece, but with just some Spectres in hand. Meanwhile, Spectre, a Stinger, and a Bulldog. Time also in the favor of Paneko's Kittens. You'd imagine this is going to be very quick, and ooh, they're going to delay the pull off, and
yeah,
both of the last 2 defenders are going to fall. They're going to get a little bit of extra credits because of that loss bonus, but noticeably, Fade falls there, so that is going to be money lost, a rifle as well from Paneko's Kittens.
Really well played for timing on the post plan from Paneko's Kittens, but for Ciero Miedo, it wasn't so difficult getting on the retake zone. You know, it was a 3v2 situation. Okay, the crossfire was on point and everything, and they were trying to cover as much corners as possible. But Ciero Miedo, I think it's kind of readjusting the strategy. Chewy with the flash here, trying to get another orb for getting the ult, and something that I want to see here is the Phoenix being one of the MVPs on the match.
Yeah, we absolutely need to see the Phoenixes step up and show out. Mochi already doing a pretty darn good job of that, having the Bulldog in hand, already 2-0-0. Now, you see the slowdown here as Miedo with rifles in hand, know that they can play their game. And with that Cypher Cam, they're going to spot the multiple attacking members of Paneko's Kittens making their way up through long here. And it's just going to be Ace who's spotted, unfortunately. Very awkward position. Chewy's going to find that pick. And now in the 5v4, plus facing a rifle disadvantage. Not amazing for them. If they can find any kills, this would be beneficial for them. It's going to be a very difficult task when they're facing on the barrel of such overwhelming firepower. Swing comes through and hauls, and there they go. Dismantled in the back. And now, this Mochi with the Bulldog somehow finds two. Makes it very costly here. It is going to be a post-plant situation. Astra Pole is going to deny to defuse the Classic. Why doesn't my Classic do that? Chaotic finds another two. How is this happening? Crow needs to make it happen. Seas comes through. It's going to force them out. We get them, but the shots go wide. Crow, I don't know if they have the time. No, they won't. That is tragedy as they sneak a third round.
Oh my god, what happened here? Chaotic made a chaotic round, actually. Kind of just not something that Ciero Miedo was expecting, and I think the timeout is gonna be definitely for Ciero Miedo. The Astra played really nice. Like, she was just waiting, trying to waste some time. The headshots were on point, were amazing. So now Ciero Miedo has to be a little more aggressive on the defense, because for at the moment, Paneko's Kittens are just outstanding on this.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to see something change here. And I mean, I will say, this is another instance that I really am not the biggest fan of. Another timeout when the team just needs to have a timeout and a reset, but not in a round in which that timeout will really find as much value as it normally will be. Obviously, 3 rounds in a row loss is not great. They need that mental reset, but I mean, they're going to have to work with a very scattered buy at best. I mean, yeah, Shy Guy picked up a Spectre there for a moment, but I don't know if it's really worth it. It looks like the only one who could buy anything and still have a real good sense of being able to buy into next is Crow, who's able to get a Spectre. But they're going to be facing down the barrel of incredibly strong Paneko's Kitten side with full rifles and full shields. It's a not great scenario for them to push in, so hopefully the strategy, the info that was secured, right onto the spot, that had to be coordinated. That had to be the plan. But Chewy, sitting on site, is going to be able to find one with a shorty, gets out with a gun as well. That could be a big difference maker as the spike goes down.
Oh, that was pretty nice. Now we have Chewy right now waiting for it again to help out, but the Small Banana actually kills him twice. So Small Banana was just waiting for them to reappear, and then all the chaos here is getting on point. Mochi, Ace, and now Small Banana again getting killed by Fruit Packs, and it's only 1v3 situation. But we have an Astra that makes choices, and Astra that made the last kill for Mochi. 4th round for Paneko's Kittens. And oh my lord, Chewy actually entered really nice, but right now they couldn't even find the exit route.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Ciero Miedo. They're able to do a little bit of damage on the way out, so they're not down and out yet, but this is one of the first true meat potato rounds, full buy across the board, and with that, we are going to get a listening.
And then 3.
Put it start aiming.
Well,
They're fighting A. They're fighting A.
Fighting A.
Go B. Yeah, smoke connector off. They have a star on me. They're dogging out.
Dogging art, I broke it.
Bring them down.
Oh, I whiffed.
Oh,
That's up
I got
top.
Jet.
Nice.
Jet dead.
Hang on. Hang on.
Cypher cam.
One close.
Guys, Cypher cam is here. Look towards
Kind of a
that
bad
link.
wall.
One street.
I can't break the cam.
They're coming.
That's
They're
okay.
coming.
Do we want to? We can back up. We can back
Yeah,
up.
we have a
They're
minute. We have a
smoking
minute.
us.
We have a minute.
You just went off the wall. My bad.
It's okay. Alright. I think we contact up mid Ciero, and we try to go in connector and get a timing. We don't have to smoke anything. Literally just we're gonna figure out where they are.
30 seconds.
Actually, scratch that. We're
30
going
seconds
Art,
left.
yeah.
Yeah. Swing 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
You don't
Yeah,
have
fade
time
out.
to 3, 2, 1, so you have to speed up.
Last player standing.
I have the spike.
Spike down A. 10 seconds.
Could be main care.
Flower.
Swing.
Oh.
Behind you. Ooh. And
Nice,
two.
NT.
Oh, I need the stars to go down faster.
It's okay. Nice try.
Chaotic, unfortunately, put into a very awkward position there.
Yeah.
Can't make magic happen. You can't have lightning strike twice, unfortunately, but they're able to do a little bit of damage, and that is going to be the first round picked up by Ciero Miedo as they are finally able to put a stop here. And again, another instance where, sure, they had the timeout. The next round, they weren't able to win it, but they took what they learned from that timeout and used it efficiently to win the next round in which they had full rifle. So it looks like they're at least listening to their coaches and making those adjustments as needed.
I think it's nice to just have, okay, a timeout, try to just keep calm, and even if the next round doesn't go as planned, we have another one. So right now, what is repeating is that Mochi maybe is gonna be getting, again, the first kill, the star that goes over hot hands here to stop one of them fruit packs to enter and slow them down. But what is again getting something here on my head is that we're repeating how they won the rounds on the last match.
Yeah, so far we are following the known path. Chaotic able to find one in trade. So it's a 1-for-1 after that extended fight. Notably, it's the Phoenix for the Fade. I actually think losing Crow there might be worse off for the utility, but missing Mochi, who is currently second frag in the lobby at 6-3-2, is not ideal for this attacking side, but they still can rely on Jess, who is 7-3-0. So I think in the end, Paneko's Kittens are going to be happy with that trade, but they're going to be making their way over towards A. Just one player sitting on. Should be hearing, yep, especially with those stars coming down, should be made very well aware. Jess, unfortunately, getting hit by that concuss, and here comes the running back. Making their way in. Nightfall invested. They find the one. They have an idea of where they should be hiding, but they don't shoot it. Okay, shots to the wall give away their location, so they're going to be able to trade 1-for-1. 2 kills on round, and that's 3. Noon doing what is needed. Now, a 3v1 Shy Guy has been doing so well, but it probably is just a save, and yep. There we go. Looks like they're going to try to play for exit frags. Not even. They're just going to run away, get away with the rifle, and play their life.
Yeah, it's better to save up right now. Maybe get their savings on the economy that it's not the best for Ciero Miedo at the moment. And okay, Shy Guy that maybe gets ahead of 1 kill, 2 kill, make it 2, of course! But, well, 5th round for Paneko's Kittens, helping out their team by getting 2 kills at the last moment.
Yeah. Massive for them. Let's just take a look at the card shop, man. They got some pretty cool merch in there, just saying.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
cool designs. But that is another round for Paneko's Kittens. But again, like you said, and like we saw there towards the end, that's 2 kills at the very end going over to Shy Guy. So Shy Guy's going to have a little bit of extra credits in the pocket, able to keep that rifle, as we mentioned. And they did a little bit of damage, which is why we're seeing the Guardian in the hands of Jess. Has done a lot of damage generally so far, but without the rifle, definitely going to be a little bit more in question as we see the attacking side leaning over towards B. 3 members already pushed out into long, and Ace going to find Doyer. That is massive as the Jet has been a massive pain in their side. Cypher Cam gonna come through, is gonna give away information. Ooh, but through the cage, they get stunned. Are they gonna check left? They need to. Yes, they will. Mochi second on the round as the last couple of players try to make their way slowly on the site. They're trying to play post plant on the attacking side, and Ace catches the Astra. They know Chewy's back there as well. Still no info on the fade, but with those shots, they'll be given away. They know where the last two are. It's just a matter of closing it out, and headshot hits, but Phantom means that it's a little bit more messy. But Chewy finds Ace there. Okay, finds something. Almost expect a bit of a replay of last, but they just try to play safe. They know they're not going to be able to get the spike now with how fast it's ticking away. And I mean, the entirety of Paneko just says, yeah, no, we're not going to run it back and give you 2 more free kills. We're just going to move to your spawn on the complete opposite side of the map and save our weaponry.
Oh my. 6th round and Ciero Miedo in fears that they may be going to an ascent map. Pearl actually seems pretty nice for Paneko's Kittens. They know it from head to toe. So it's kind of weird that Paneko's aren't going a little more for the ult. I would love to see Ace and Small Banana again with the ult usage, because maybe they can help out for, as you were saying before the round started, like denying the post retake. So okay, A side kind of difficult. Noon here shooting through the wall, trying to make some damage. No one's to be found, and trying to lurk Ciero Miedo from the CT time.
Yeah, notably, the longer they delay this push onto A, the more time is given for this rotation to come through. It doesn't look like they want to back away off A, but again, why stick around if you're not going to take the site? And the longer you take, the more time you give to this defense. The pincer move is fully coming in, and normally this would be like, oh, maybe they're rotating off, but because they're pincering, they know. The defense knows darn well where the attackers are. They are trapped in this area, space choked away from them, and they're not even aware of the fact. Almost 30 seconds left on the clock, and they are still not done anything. There we go. Run it back is going to be the initiation tool. Trapwire is going to delay them. Astra pull. Everything in the kitchen sink is thrown into the site. It's going to be secured without too much damage, but Chewy finds Astra. No more smokes available to Paneko's Kittens. They're going to catch the one in the corner. Ace finds one, but back and forth we go. The flash is massive, and the kills come through, and now it's just Ace has to make magic happen. Not going to be able to do so, and Ciero is able to put a second on the board.
Oh my, Ciero Miedo played really nice here, and actually getting fruit packs with the Cosmic Divide ult already. It's gonna be helping out a lot for the retake situation, and of course Paneko's Kittens are gonna be getting a timeout right now. Maybe, yeah, Paneko's Kittens is gonna be, because okay, 6 rounds to 2. It's not that much of a difference, but they can actually get lost on the 6-6 as we saw the last map. Yeah.
I apologize. I was muting there because I had the cough. Yeah, I mean, this is an attacking sided map. So Paneko, they are going to have the 6 rounds immediately, but that's kind of expected in this situation. So Miedo, if they're able to start putting a few more rounds together, like I said before, my rule of thumb is 4 or 5. If they can get to 4 rounds win here, they'll be feeling pretty good moving over to that more favorable side. But
Yeah.
if Paneko is able to start really putting the pressure on them, if they can get to 8, 9, they'll be feeling really good themselves. So it is still anyone's game here, but Paneko definitely with the momentum. Speaking of which, though, we are going to have a listen in for Ciero Miedo here.
Okay.
Get out of my way.
Grab an orb.
Never mind.
Nothing
My ult
hard.
is online.
Back up,
Thank
back
you.
up.
Nothing
gonna
hard.
shoot,
Your street's open. Your street's wide open. There's nothing hard right now.
They stunned box, so they know that we pushed up.
Oh, fuck, there's one street. Let's get the crap out of me.
Okay, come, what's it called? Along with me.
Hey guys,
Hey,
Okay,
long.
there's-
you
Elon
guys
is
wanna-
clear.
Along
you wanna
together.
go, you wanna go fruit? You can go.
I'm through connector.
Nice.
Nice, good pick.
We're
Good
Watch
job,
connector,
Just
watch
carry your
connector.
arc.
Yeah, I'm down to just.
I'm
down
in
to
there right
get
now. I'm
the-
in
Yeah,
connector right
we're
now.
fighting for it.
Okay,
I'm gonna talk this for you, okay?
Nice.
Come on,
I'm
one
low.
more.
I'm gonna
Fade
heal.
ult the-
Okay, right side is probably more likely going to
Behind
be. I hold the door, you pick right. I got the door, you pick right. Okay, let's go.
I'm watching you behind.
Two there.
Nice.
Nice, but you're so
Nice.
close.
Hey,
Let's go.
On me, on
Hey,
me.
play your life.
Nice!
Nice!
We're so cute. Love you guys.
Go through. Yo, chest bump, chest bump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
High
love
spirits
the
over
ending.
there. High spirits for Ciero Miedo there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can tell that the mental's not shaking one bit for them, despite the low map count or the low round count. They are still feeling pretty confident, and again, they should be. This is the attack side of map, so the fact that they've now put 2 rounds in a row, they're doing some good damage. It's not going to be a full buy here for Paneko. This is a really good bounce back spot for them.
Yeah, actually, Ciero Miedo has some mental and high hopes over here. Here, maybe they were trying to seize and hunt someone from Fade, not looking that the B side is gonna be closed by the corners. Dovir actually with 20 on life. It's kind of difficult to help out the duelist, and it's gonna be an entry with a cosmic divide. And oh my god, Chewy, why you did that? Okay, they reckon they could help out.
Okay, Astral Divide coming through, Flash, and Chew is able to find another value after value as they find a third, able to pick up the Guardian as well, and now we're gonna do the tap, full post-plant denial in effect right now. Chaotic needs to make magic happen. They've done something similar in the past, but no, denied this time with a 4K from Chewy to set them in motion, as now they're at 4-6, and Ciero Miedo looking like they are back and fighting into this map.
I love that from Ciero Miedo. And something that I actually love from Valorant right now at the meta is that Phoenix is again alive as the first or second pick duelist. Because, okay, we nerfed Neon and everything, but having an agent that not only recharges the flash after using and killing someone, but getting a second chance to live and fight, not like Love that needs to kill someone to go ahead and still live from a few seconds, it's really, really nice. And Fruitbags knows that, so they are gonna be hunting Mochi until the end of the day.
Yeah, Jess is going to be spotted by that dog, but is not going to stick around long enough for it to have too much say. Killjoy coming through. No investment to destroy it, as there is a defensive setup there on site. So the goal is just not to get caught in it. Attackers push through. They're going to get hit by those trips, give away information as Crow finds one and is still in the area. Maybe looking to find two. Haunt coming through, or excuse me, that was the C's. Not going to land on anything, but they know where players are sitting as they start making their way back to site. Operator in effect, the big boomstick finding value. A Shy Guy finds one as well. Jess in the 1v4, not going to be able to do it. Another round on the board, and what looked like such a dominant half for Paneko has started slowly being chipped away. Ciero Miedo are just one round away from keeping this at a 6-6 half again.
Oh my, we know how this ends. And right now, of course, the economy, the credits for Paneko's Kittens are just low on their lower point, on the lowest point. So for them, maybe this round might be useful to have a small Vanania here, try to use a Nightfall over them and getting them caught, at least 3 of the Ciero Miedo team, so they can help out. But it's gonna be Chewy, it's gonna be Kiki to spot them first and going back.
Right here. A little bit of information gathered from both teams. Flash comes through, but the shots go wide. Mochi with just a sheriff has to make it work and does in the end, though it's a little sketchy to say the least. All four sitting in that mid connector, and they're gonna be heard, so hot hands coming out to deny them space onto B, and they still have the Jet looking down long with the operator. This could be good for them. Run it back, invest it. Possible tricky spot here, but no one in the area to possibly deter them. Run it back dealt with, but Chaotic finds the trade as Doer does find one. Spike drops, so they have to play this carefully, though. And now, in a 3v3, Chaotic finds another. This is winnable. Oh, Doer with the operator. This is not a great spot for them, but they're going to find the value regardless. Back and forth they go. Just the op in hand. Can Doer make magic happen? No, the big boomstick shot goes wide. And they deny the 6-6. Paneko's Kittens close at 7-5.
Oh my! I thought they were gonna be getting the last kill, but okay, Paneko's Kittens actually denying the 6-6. It's gonna be helpful for them, not only on their strategy but on their mental, because when going 4 rounds above the other team and then losing them that quickly, it's gonna be kind of difficult to recover or to change the strategies that you were having on the attackant side. It's easier to just help and do whatever's left to get over 7-5 or even 6-6 and do a defense that it's gonna be really offensive.
Taking that back.
We see a very offensive defense over on B, pushed all the way up. This is what we saw from them consistently. This is actually what he said that Miedo would probably attempt to stop, and they do have the lurking Cypher who might have a say if they end up making their way back towards mid, but not me. Giving them a lot of space. Attacker spawn already secured as the push out onto A is coming through. It is given to them, though it is spotted due to copious amounts of utility. In the end, no one falls, not even really any damage taken, so it's going to be a full 5v5. Doya Boy finds one, though. Makes this awkward. Chaotic finds 2, make it 3, as that's another 4 now in the round. Only one attacker left standing. It's just Pro. With just a ghost in hand, is able to find the first, but none more, as that's another every single pistol round so far secured by Paneko's Kittens.
Oh. I felt that angry dog right now. I know that maybe Paneko's Kittens were like, okay, you know what? We need to be more aggressive than we were on the Elkin side. And it actually worked out. So Ciero Miedo right now is going to get a difficult round. It's not winnable at all. And maybe we can get a comeback like we had on the last map. Ciero Miedo winning and getting, of course, ahead of Paneko's Kittens, but they are reading them very well, and now it's gonna be the spot, and of course the first kill for Mochi with the Bulldog.
Alrighty, and the nerf to the shotties are being shown here, as unfortunately it just does not work for them. But notably, that is a lot of kills going the way of Ciero Miedo, as now Paneko's Kittens are in a very awkward spot. Ooh. They do have the Outlaw in the hands of Noon. Had a possible play there, but unfortunately, just too much util. Now, 3v3. Headlong into each other, and the Bucky finally finds a little bit of value into the round and makes us a 2v1 situation. Again, Noon just has the Outlaw in hand. It's not great for the retake, but I don't know what many options Noon has, especially when that Bulldog has now been picked up. So it's a Spectre and it's a rifle, and they're going to play for post plant hard.
Oh yeah, and the spike being that opened, it's kind of difficult for Noon at the moment. Okay, trying to put the aim, cleaning the sides, cleaning the corners, making some noise, and they don't know that they are on a totem pose. So yeah, of course they defuse. The stars are going on, and the time is almost over.
Yeah, very little they can do, and they're just gonna try to keep this outlaw. I mean, they won the last round, so there's no use to dying to the spike. There's also just no use of dying anyway, so they're gonna keep a very influential rifle because while it is a cheaper than a normal rifle, it still does a lot of damage, especially when someone has light shields or regen shields, and they're expecting someone to have it. And it looks like Kiki will be the player with the regen shields in hand, but they're going to try to just keep a little bit as the first 2 rounds are split, making the second half of this game a little sketchy here.
Yeah.
Typically, we see this end up getting split 2 and 2, so we don't get like a real round until round 5.
Yeah, actually, kind of sketchy too. And well, maybe Paneko's Kittens are just waiting for a timeout. If this round doesn't go as planned, Paneko's is gonna be getting a timeout definitely. So Ciero Miedo trying to go and cover mid side from this map being that big is actually a really nice strategy to try and listen to over when and where are the other teammates trying to run.
Hey, Doya Boy is going to be spotted there, hit by the dog, so they know the location. They know there's a lot of members flooding onto A, and unfortunately, with just a classic in hand, not all that much that can be done. They're going to try and... and Spike finally gonna make its way down. Everyone tucked away into that one corner. We have the Cypher on the flank. Might catch Noon completely off guard. And yep, there we go. Shy Guy catches Noon in the back, and now they know exactly where Jess is. They know where to hide. This is gonna be an almost impossible situation for them, especially as time is already ticking. Haunt to try to get some information. It will give away what Crow is playing, but with the flash, nothing they can do. Right click, unfortunately, not enough damage, and Joey will close that one out as Miedo continues to climb and crawl their way back into this game, just 1 round away from tying it 8-8.
Oh, well, I actually, something that I love from Paneko's Kittens right now is they are not even giving up, even in this, if the situation is a 1v4, you know, and that's something that Paneko's Kittens has on the right hand or on the right side of this map. 7-8 is something that is doable for getting an 8-8, and then Paneko can actually, again, like a Phoenix, again, be reborn and everything. So with the economy that they have, full buying, I don't think, or maybe forced buying, I don't think it's gonna be the best for them.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but at the same time, you definitely want to start putting some rounds together. I mean, losing the last 2 is not ideal, but losing 3 in a row would definitely make it worse, and it'd be an 8-8. You kind of want to build your momentum as quick as possible, and they're going to have this timeout, so at least they'll have a little bit of inspiration from their teammate, or excuse me, not their teammates. Well, I guess, yeah, their teammates, but also their coaches. And notably, they also have 2 ultimates. That's the big thing here.
Yeah.
You know, Paneko having those 2 ultimates to play around is definitely enough to maybe flip this into their favor, despite having 2 Guardians in hand. They just have to make sure they play around them carefully, as we see a bit more of a default setup here from Ciero Miedo, a 2-2-1 attack side. We do see 3 players pushing up who are in mid, gonna be noticed. No damage traded, as it's just a little bit of information and now some utility, but look at the space that is created on the extremities. 2 pushed all the way up through B main and 1 just outside of A. It looks like B is gonna be where the spike is gonna be ending up, with that lurking Cypher just causing a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and causing them to lose a lot of time. Huey here that has Ace on their hands, 4v4 situation, equal parts, and now it's Mochi that wants to get the kill, make it 2 because they have the ulti ready, and chaotic life accompanies here.
Player standing.
Massive spray and pray there in the end goes their way, and now it's just that lurking Cypher, the one that was over on A. I said could cause problems, but they're just way too late to the party. Shy Guy's able to find one off of it, but not able to help close the round, and it is a little costly. They lose a lot of rifles, both those Guardians, as well as use one ultimate, but they're able to convert the round out. Now, notably, not going to be really able to invest all that much, and we see an immediate timeout in response. I'm assuming Ciero Miedo wanting to ice them out, not give them any momentum back, and give a little bit of inspiration to their own team to help close out and catch back up and finally take a lead here.
Yeah, because Paneko's Kittens after this timeout they were amazing. The momentum and how they build up the strategy, being aggressive, even though Ciero Miedo wanted them to lose a lot of time trying to, getting a hold of the retake situation, making them change paths and everything. They couldn't. And it's something that Ciero Miedo needs to reposition and get another thinking about how Paneko's Kittens are moving and, of course, reading them.
Wow. Also, just a small update if anyone's paying attention to it. The donations have been flowing in. A massive donation coming in from Ink, the player who subbed in for Ciero Miedo just in the last game. $250. Thank you so much. Very generous, and skyrockets our total donate to $1,037, and of course the 67 cents. The new goal, the last goal has been absolutely shattered. The new goal is, I believe, 1,100, so not even that far away now. So again, if you're sitting at home and you can donate, you're able to donate, please do so. It's for a great cause. But getting into the game, it is chaos on the point already. Multiple spotted over in Art as Sight is finally secured, I guess you can call it that. Spike is at least going to go down as they very clearly want to pull back for post plant. Root Pax finds one, gives them a chance into this. Jess finds a trade, however, it's chaos incarnate as there is fighting everywhere. And in the end, it's very back and forth, a 3-3. Oh no! Tragedy on point for the defense. That might be the crack in the armor that they need. Back and forth they go. Root Pack sitting right in their walls, just not letting them have any free space. And now, time ticking. They found Ace and removed them. Ciero Miedo, their former sub, dropping $250 to donate, and then they win the next round. Massive for them.
it was the booth, for Ciero Miedo, and I loved how here it was Fruit Packs against Mochi, both recharging the weapon, both trying to just hide a little bit and getting a little bit more time to try and get the other one on their kills, and it worked out for Ciero Miedo. So 8-9, the economy for Paneko's Kittens is at their lowest point, so I wouldn't be surprised if Ciero Miedo equals and ties the situation 9-9, but we have seen Paneko's Kittens do a little more with even less.
Yeah, absolutely here. 8-9. Okay, Chewy finding an early pick onto Ace. That is definitely rough for Paneko's Kittens. This puts them in a very awkward position. No Sentinel to hold down B as the entire rest of the team is pushed up towards mid. Back and forth we go, but in the end, the trades go the way of Ciero Miedo yet again, and now a 4v2. It is Jess and it is Noon versus the world.
Oh, and I think they couldn't even. Oh no, yeah, there. Small Banana has the Vandal from Shy Guy, and okay, Duvier here waiting. They have the peak. They have one. Make it two, and of course, make it the 9th round for Ciero Miedo at that moment. And 9-9, we're equal, we're tied, and Paneko's Kittens need to power up their aim and maybe start using the 3 ults that we have already from them.
Yeah, they have had to crawl and dredge their way into this position. But Ciero Miedo, after a bit of a rough start, have finally got to the point where they have tied it up. And with that, we are going to listen in to Ciero Miedo as they look to regain the lead. Ryan looks like he's still a little bit of technical issues, but speaking of their performance, Doyer going nuclear to find 2 in mid. Gonna give them a really good shot and completely dismantle this defensive side.
They know
Noon
where
does
they
have
are.
an operator though.
Shy Guy using the Neuro Theft, knowing where they are and going over to hunt them. They weren't expecting them, and now Shy Guy has another kill for him, and of course the A side completely free to plant the spike. Situation 5v2, and Noon with the OP. I think getting a higher ground would be better for Noon to just try and lurk, maybe get a kill, but Paneko's Kittens, I think they are gonna be rotating. They still have time. They could actually try to go ahead and kind of win a 1v1 situation, but they are going to just be stopping here, saving the economy, saving the weapon, nothing else to do.
Yeah, with the operator in hand, obviously that is a very big investment, so they do not want to throw that away. On top of that, we are getting to the later rounds of this map. Obviously, with this, it's going to be Ciero Miedo taking lead for the first time, getting to double digits. They do not want to go into the next round with the possibility of having no firepower whatsoever, so they are just going to save and hope they can try to convert this one with a little bit more of a scattered buy, but with new situations. So it's going to be a lot. I do believe we are going to have a listen in for Ciero Miedo here, see if they can keep this momentum rolling.
Hopefully Ciero Miedo has this momentum rolling again, because I think there's no other timeouts left for Paneko's Kittens. Oh, yeah. So we're going to be listening to them, actually.
I don't see KJ. I don't see Jet.
I'm holding art.
Someone see.
Just would be.
Just be.
Okay. I push with you, Doey.
In front of you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Again,
sorry.
could. Oh, yeah, two. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight for the gun. Pushing out. Nice. One more.
I'm watching door.
Get the gun.
We'll fight together.
Walking off street right now.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, they didn't get gun.
I can.
I said we back up,
One deep street.
and we might have to go be here.
Dory's by himself. Dory's on the island right now. Not Dory, fucking Crow.
I just
Did
don't
you
want
see
to
up
get that
on
gun.
Down for the mid.
Opposite B. Someone with deep street holding this right here.
I'm gonna
I
put
just don't
fake
want to
stars
get
on
that
it.
gun.
If Op is here, I'm willing to just
Go
run
with
it
her.
down.
Go with him.
I'm with you.
Did you fix star? I grabbed the orb.
Go. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
My ultimate's ready.
Okay.
One down street. KJ,
Cage
go.
is here.
I'm
Op
giving
is
you
probably the
one.
other
Just
side.
gonna-
Left.
Ults.
Yeah.
Oh, Jet's holding a hole.
Jet Hall.
We're on scene right now.
Hall's in one. Still.
Oh, get out. Oh, he's still holding.
Yeah.
Spike down.
They're mollying me off.
10 seconds left.
They have the op. It's okay.
No time.
Nice.
Nice
Nice
try.
shot.
Okay. Nice try, guys.
Man, we
I
just
think
shouldn't have
we
gone B there, I think. I think we
No,
pushed
they
just
have
right
op,
into the
though.
op.
Just go wait. Let's not.
Ooh, a little bit of contention there at the end, maybe, but that is a good round for Paneko's Kittens. The operator, big difference maker there, as they're able to tie it up 10-10 yet again. Ciero Miedo struggling a little bit after losing their member first, so first blood's continuing to be so important for both of these rosters and throughout this entire series.
Yeah, I think the first kills are one thing that's been really definitive on the round. So double digits for both of the teams. Noon right now that with the prowler needed to go back and of course making them feel like they were falling over them. So right now the rotation may be trying to fake over to going to another side, but going on mid side, it's gonna be helpful even for Shy Guy. So maybe just doing a little less of noise from Ciero Miedo would be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely here. But it is a very fast rotate, and a rotate over towards B because they heard that operator, as you said, and they do not want to deal with that. So they're instead going to push towards connector. There's 3 players sitting in this alley. I don't know if that they're fully prepared for it. Hot Hands is going to land and force that fade out of position, but in the end, it's a little bit of damage trade and a lot of util, but nothing crazy, as it looks like A is going to be their destination of choice. Bladestorm is going to be popped here, so Noon does not have to rely on just the operator. Now space is secured and taken. Spike gonna go down. Nightfall invested. That's gonna land on multiple members. Doya Boy also very weak now with that weakened state. Noon finds with the Bladestorm before Doria finds the response with their own. Killjoy coming through, and the backstab is going to destroy the Killjoy. And now it's just the Astra. Just chaotic. Having to make it all happen. Is gonna find the one. Maybe just trying to find the operator. Okay, he's able to find 2.
And yeah, they stop.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
No.
Too many members to go through there, but that is gonna be round 11 for Ciero Miedo.
I actually thought Chaotic might be winning that last round because they were doing pretty nice actually, not rushing, not like the tension there from them wasn't even palpable. So I think Paneko's Kittens can do a lot more damage than what we think on these instances where we are 11-10. It's only 1 round of difference that we have been getting throughout the 20 rounds that have here. And now the ults, the Bladestorm from both Jets were amazing. So Fruitbags and Kiki are right now with 2 ults ready to show and to help out. It's gonna be nice. And the anti-push from Paneko's Kittens can help out for getting the first kill again.
Ooh, a little bit of back and forth as the entirety of Paneko's Kittens push up through mid. It's a 4v2 in the back, making a 5v2 actually, as they're just gonna try to flood them. It's a little scrappy, it's a little chaotic as Chewy finds 2. It is 1, making 3 for Chewy before they finally fall. That's 2 rifles that are able to be secured in the process, but with all of that, Ace takes a lot of damage, just regen shields in their teammate, and it's a 3v2. Oh, making a 3v1, making a 3v none, as that is Ciero Miedo cleaning up what's left. And that is going to be map series point secure, just 1 round away from locking in their spot at grand finals tomorrow.
Oh my, I wouldn't be surprised if Ciero Miedo actually passes to grand finals with this kind of maps. And, well, Paneko's Kittens actually have a little opportunity left. They bought the OP for Noon, they have the Phantom, they have the Vandals, and they have the Cosmic Divide from Chaotic Life. So it can be a situation where Paneko's Kittens wins and maybe Ciero Miedo gets ahead of an overtime, and of course Paneko's Kittens is better at managing overtime as we have seen before. So no wonder if we have Paneko's getting the first kill and of course the 11th round for them.
Absolutely, and now here we see the aggression. Ciero Miedo just pushing on to A. They want this win. They want to close it out here. A lot of utility being invested here by the defense of Paneko's Kittens to try to close that out, and that might be the first nail in the coffin. Doya Boy finds one of the key pieces to the squad. Though it is traded back and forth. Bupax on their own is able to find a trade. Chaotic Life able to get rid of the run it back. They're trying to fight 3 from back of sight, fighting 4 who are all tucked away in the front. Just feet divide them. Nightfall is invested, and that's gonna find so much information. The flame wall is gonna make this difficult, and the upshot goes wide.
No!
That might just be it. It's just noon. It's just no one. As Ciero Miedo are able to secure the final round, secure the map, secure the series, and secure grand finals tomorrow.
Oh my! Ciero Miedo really played along really well. Like Paneko's Kittens don't they are not so bad, but Ciero Miedo could change the strategy, could change the time and everything that Paneko's Kittens were reading ahead. So a big GG well played for Ciero Miedo securing the grand finals for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gotta say, a very similar story to what we saw in game number 1. They struggled early. They had a rough start. They lost 4 in a row, but they had a timeout in which their coaches just came in, whispered something into their ear, and suddenly something clicked, and it immediately saw a turn. Obviously, Paneko's Kittens, we're still doing a really good job, and we're still pushing ahead. I mean, Ciero Miedo didn't get the lead until it was 9-8, mind you. But a very similar storyline where they just had a much stronger end to the map. And in the end, it's not how you finish. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. And Ciero Miedo finished strong. But with all that being said, much like in the last series, we are going to send it over to a break. When we are back, Sam is going to have an interview ready, and then we are going to break down that last series. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach's Call Day 2, which is now coming to its conclusion. But before we do that, we have an interview with the losing team and an interview with the winning team. And so we're going to start with Paneko's Kittens, who had I think, fairy tale run throughout this weekend. Something that I don't think anyone was really expecting them to be able to accomplish or to be able to go as far as they did. And actually, I'm really excited to talk to Paneko's Kittens because Paneko, I want to start with you real quick, the coach of this team, because I'm going to be honest with you, right? We started off with that Haven game. That Haven game was a little rough. Okay, that was a 13-1 Haven game.
Yeah.
I got to know what kind of talk you had with your squad, with this team, to pull them out of whatever mental rut I know I would have been in, and not only get them to succeed on Pearl, but you won out the first series against the Cursed Crusaders. And then, to be honest, you had a really good run here, too, in series number 2 against Ciero Miedo.
Yeah, I just want to
So,
say.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to say, it actually started, even, I would say before our game. After yesterday's game, so this morning, we met up early before our game even started. We sat in call, and I want to shout out Shells, who really helped us with this. She was she's one of the assistant coaches that came and helped us with a lot. We just talked about how it went yesterday, what we were missing, and we just held each other accountable on what we want to do going into the games that we played. And yeah, going into Haven after losing 13-1, we were all pretty bummed out, but literally we just everybody, I think, really internalized what we talked about this morning, with everything that we've been through for the past 2.5 weeks. We know we are good players. I know they are good players. They've improved so much, and they just we just took a break, came back, reset, and we just went all the way to here.
Yeah, and again, this may sound like a dig on the team, but I don't think anyone expected the performance that came out of Paneko's Kittens today. I think the improvements that you're talking about is noticeable. It's so brilliant to be able to witness the spectacle that has been Paneko's Kittens today. And even though you weren't able to make it, and the team wasn't able to make it into the grand finals, I think you managed to make a statement of your own in the performance that you gave us today. And so now I want to take a step over to the players real quick. And Ace, you volunteered to be the person that I get to talk with. I want to go to Lotus real fast because obviously we've had our listen ins for today, but there was a little overtime that you guys got into. And the way that you won that overtime, I think, is going to be living rent free in all of our heads for the next couple of months. In that last second defuse that was not contested, that you were able to just get through, even though Curse Crusader still had 2 people left alive. What were the comms going like? Were you guys going crazy, or is it just like, yeah, another day in the office?
We certainly popped off after that. It was certainly not how I expected the game to end. Yet I couldn't be happier with the result. I think even if it went longer, I think no matter what happened, we were in it. We were there, and we were ready to win.
Yeah, you were ready to win. And I think that was proven time and time again. And so I'm going to talk to you about how obviously the team struggled in that Haven matchup, but going into the next ones, right, we're able to win them out. So what did it take for you as the players to be able to pull yourselves out of that rut, out of that 13-1? Because that's a tough loss.
Afterwards, like Paneko mentioned, we had Chels come in and really mention a lot of the mistakes that we did and like some of the flaws we had. And I think it really just we sat down and talked a lot, and I think we fixed a lot of the problems from the Haven match.
Fixed a lot of the problems and managed to soar to even greater heights because of them. Paneko, I'm going to come back over to you for a second now. This has been a long day for the team. This has been 5 games, and I talked about it on broadcast. That's a lot of games, even for the most seasoned of tier 1 professionals. And right, you think about ranked games that you can play for hours on end, but at a certain point, you turn off your brain and you just like go on autopilot mode. But in these tournament settings where you're held to a higher standard, where especially you as the coach are holding your players to that higher standard, it can really wear down on players who may not be as experienced in these types of settings. And so, Paneko, I'm kind of curious to get your perspective on how you keep the team going in these moments.
I think it's just vibes. Like, I want to shout out also our VC mod, Ponich. He's there. It's all like we just crack jokes. We just like literally we run through. We're fighting tiredness, sleepiness, all like the mental like things that we like went through in the morning. But it's literally we're playing. Oh, also shout out Food Guesser. We're playing Food Guesser. Food Guesser got us really going. We were playing Food Guesser in between our games. I think that we rejuvenized us, like not thinking about Val for like 5 games straight, just doing something chill as a group. There were some really interesting foods out there, and yeah, that really helped us out.
Oh, wait, hold on. You saying interesting foods? What's some of the favorite foods that we got?
Oh, guys, what's some shout outs that we had?
I have
unpronounceable names. Those One of them had crackling pork.
Crackling pork was crazy.
Sadly, I couldn't tab out and watch.
I'm getting the mental images in my head now, so we might need to move on real fast. Ace, I'm gonna hop back over to the players now. Ace, the coaches call tournament, right? The whole point of this is to be able to help players to improve upon themselves, to be able to take that next step, to be able to experience what it's like to have systems like these in place to get the education to become a better player. And so, looking at your team, looking at yourself, what are some of the improvements that you yourself have seen as a player?
Oh, I think at least personally, I'm one of the lowest ranked players in this tournament. I think I'm pretty sure. And I learned tons. Like, I remember sitting down with Paneko after our first game being like, wow, you can really just like, even it was like a 30-minute match, and yet we talked about it for like 2 hours. There was just so much to learn and so much to review and go over. And like, even how the tiniest things changing, like not swinging something or even just throwing something simple as a molly will change how an entire game can go. It really, I think I changed my entire play style, and it's been fantastic.
It's the little things that you don't think about, right? When you're playing your ranked games, or when you don't have that coordinated environment to be able to help you understand some of the nuances that you may be missing, that once you get into an organized setup like this, and especially once you have a coach who can help point out some of the things that you could be doing better, some of the things that you can improve upon, and some of the things that you're already doing very well, is so very encouraging. And so now, to close things out, Paneko, I'm going to come to you for one last moment. I just got to know, how proud of you, how proud are you of this squad from the moment that you got to work with them to this point?
I'm super proud of them. I tell them that every single game, every single day. Like every time we VOD review, like when we watch the VOD, they hear how hype I am and how frustrated I get sometimes. But like most importantly, they've improved a lot, a lot. I've been proud for them like since day one, and like they know it. And I know that like looking into the future, like they'll come back to me if they ever need any help.
I love to hear it, Paneko. Thank you so much to you and your squad for coming in to have an interview with us here on the desk. Really appreciate it, and hope to see all of you again in a future coach's call.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now we're going to be hopping up above to the. Oh,
Hey,
hello.
this
Yes,
guy
I'm
here.
here with our winners now. We're going to be doing a winning interview. We're going to be interviewing our winning team. Oh my goodness gracious. Words are hard to get out right now. It's been a long day, everyone, okay? But now it's time for Ciero, Miedo. We are going to be discussing with them now and having a little bit of an interview with them. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and start off with the coaches side of things, the coaching perspective. So, to both of our illustrious coaches, I don't actually know which one I'm going to be talking to just yet. So, whichever one speaks up to me, I'm very excited to talk with. But how have things been going? Like you've had a 2-game victory, a 2-0 victory over Paneko's Kittens, but it was kind of contentious at some points. So to my coaching staff, what do you do to keep the team's mentals going when things are looking a little scary?
I tell them all the time, like pre-game into whatever timeouts, especially. I can tell when they sound tense or when things get too tense. And I genuinely just tell them, it's like how I would whenever I was playing the game. I would literally tell them, like, yo, deep breaths, like listen to me for a second. And then I'll calm things down to insta. And I try my best to like not if when I do these calming things, I tell them like, yo, just like focus on what I'm saying, and then we can figure things out from there, right? I also give them this like freedom to kind of play their game because I don't want to tie them. I like obviously as like a coach or whatever, I have like Shelby and I have like set strats or set ideas down, but I always tell them all the time like if you don't like think about this idea or like if you don't you like or sorry I don't want to tie you to this idea or this strat. I want you guys to play how you guys would play. Just know you have a supporting cast around you that you can trust. I think it's the big point too, and they just trust each other so much.
Trust is very important in a game like Valorant, where you have your lone wolf mentality, and then being able to fall back and still have that support to be able to support yourself is so very valuable. So, to go over to my players, have a little bit of a discussion with them, continuing on this theme of trust. How has the trust around you, the players, have been built? How do you feel that has come about?
Yeah, I think the trust in what we have like between each other, it's crazy like the difference between our first game when we first played our scrim. I mean, we were pretty much individual players. We struggled a lot, but to yesterday and even today, like the improvement on how much trust we have when we're swinging, when we're giving out calls, even in ideas. Even as an IGL, there's definitely a responsibility of, the pre-rounding planning. But the team has definitely, I trust my team like so much that if they would rather do a different kind of strat, like I have their full support.
Man, I do love that. And I think it's one of those moments where you see how this has elevated your team, and especially when things were starting to go a little bit topsy turvy on Fracture, and again the same with Pearl in a sense. the way that Ciero Miedo is able to recover itself, and the way that your squad, when you're on the back foot, you're not done. You haven't counted yourselves out. You haven't discounted yourselves, and you're able to make that comeback happen. And you're able to not only make the comeback happen, but then you're able to close things out where, yeah, it can get a little tense, it can get a little scary. And I think we also heard in your comms too, to continue on talking with the players, just how much fun you guys are having, right? Like, there was some really good vibes coming out of this team in the listen-ins that we had.
Yes, I love this game. This game makes me so happy. I can live
Yeah,
for hours.
We play like a team. Like, we all like just like chill players. We all love to play this game. We all like to play with each other. We're all vibing. I can say we're like all friends now since like our first scrim to now. I think I trust these guys so much, man. Like, these guys are amazing.
It is amazing, and it's that sense of amazingness. I think too, as coaches, right? You look at this team and you see from the first day how they've morphed into this machine that is able to go in and take on these battles, and you have to be hands off with them, but you look and see how much they've grown and how much they've been able to adapt to the game. It has to sort of bring a little bit of a tear to your eye, doesn't it?
Hell yeah. It doesn't matter if it's down like 1-5 or 1-10, man. We always made a
That's the
comeback. We always try our
usual.
best. Yeah, we always try our best. Vibes are always high. Kiki will be talking about how hungry she is mid-round.
Hey, bro, why would
Vibes are vibes are always high.
Hey, wait a second.
I also want to shout out Ink, by the way. He was a super sub today, and he came in clutch for us when we needed him the most. And shout out that guy.
Yes.
So yeah, hold on. We gotta. Not only is Ink a super sub, they're also a super donator. All right, they're a super dono. So this is actually a very good opportunity for me to shout out Ink's 2 very generous donations that they have given us. Yes, for the crisis text line. Yeah. Well, first of all, we have Ink donating $75. And then after game 1, coming in with $250,
Wow.
saying, "Viva Ciero Miedo."
Listen,
Let's
do you want to
go.
know a secret about where
He definitely just won that. He definitely just won that.
He was literally playing slot machines online in like while we were waiting for the lobby to go live, and he pulled 250, and I guess that's where that money came from, straight to you guys. Incredible.
Well, you know what? Ink, we really appreciate it. And of course, it's going to benefit the amazing crisis text line. So we can't thank you enough for your generosity in doing that. And I think, it's very cool to be able to see how your team has progressed. But to continue on talking with you, coaches, you have a big day tomorrow, right? You're going to be going into the grand finals against a squad that has looked incredibly dominant so far in this matchup with Sin Thieves. And so I got to know what the preparation is looking like going into tomorrow.
Honestly, business as usual. I feel like their team is just very, very tough because I know some things. I play with Sin personally, and I even play with some of the people on his team. And I know for a fact like they play extremely well together. And I think he kind of has the same philosophy I do sometimes, where I kind of just let my team play their game. I just feed them the information to know how they can adjust it,
Right.
Again, we also have I have really good staff, and like Shelby, a very good assistant coach who can like even just like help me out with like certain details I miss all the time, alongside like everyone else can. I give this info to everyone else, and everyone else can kind of do their thing. Especially, it'll be a fun match. We didn't scrim often, but when we did, it was it was fun watches probably on both ends, if I'm being honest.
Oof.
But
Well,
I think prep works business as usual.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how that's going to pan out tomorrow. And I am going to close things out now with our players of Ciero Miedo. How excited are you guys looking forward to tomorrow in that big grand finals matchup against Sin Thieves?
We're gonna make it fun.
We're gonna make it fun.
I'm gonna eat.
Ready.
They're not ready for what we're gonna. No, go ahead, Dewey.
We're gonna eat. Okay, listen, I feel that in my
Literally
core
and
right now.
They're not ready. We're gonna pull out. They're not ready for what we're gonna pull out.
It's going to be 3 rounds of us
okay.
going 1 and 5 at the start. Trust us.
Maybe we'll win
All
a
right.
pistol tomorrow. Maybe we'll win a pistol tomorrow. Who
We
knows?
don't got it though.
listen, we're all looking forward to maybe some pistol rounds being won. We're all looking forward to seeing how the performance of Ciero Miedo is going to be. Everyone, thank you all so much for joining me on the desk. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on your win against Paneko's Kittens, and good luck tomorrow on your grand finals matchup against Sin Thieves.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank
Sam.
you. Thank you.
All right, and now I'm just hopping all over the place. I'm going from one to the next, because now I am back with my casters to go ahead and break down how that final map of Pearl went and the Ciero Miedo victory that we witnessed. But, you know, Soren, Moneyverso, I had a really great time talking with both of our teams. Soren, they're very lovely people. They just sound like they're having a dang old good time.
Absolutely, my omnipotentiary.
Ooh,
I'm had to get there. I'm so sorry. I was partially glad that.
Can we change that? I don't think Sam Talks is working anymore for me as omnipotentiary. Change it.
Omnipotentiary. I'm actually quite glad that was a 2-0, not because I didn't want to see a 3-0, but because I had run through my list. I ran through. To put perspective for anyone at home, this is my notes tab. This is where I have all the notes for players. This entire side, all of this is names I have used throughout the day. I have just been looking up titles to call this man since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a great day. It was a lot of fun.
It's a great day.
I'm not surprised. Omnipotentiary. You spelled that correctly. That is impressive. I didn't even spell it right on my pad.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
it was a I good
Soren,
day
I'm going to interrupt you.
of
I got to
matches.
interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because we have actually hit another goal. That's our third one for today. That's our third one for today. Chat,
Let's
you're so
go.
beautiful. Look at all you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses to chat. I'm sorry. I listen. It's you guys have done an amazing job today. I am really sorry for interrupting you, Soren. I do apologize, but I had to get this out there. I just had to say this because it is an amazing accomplishment that we had. And I want to say a big thank you to Slayru, Sharkbait, and Cara Stinks for those last second donations coming in, which I say last second, you still have more opportunities to put in some more donations, chat. And you may even hear me interrupting Soren or Moneyverso in the midst of it, which, you know, honestly, it's kind of a lot of fun, you know, being the omnipotentiary and everything. But Soren, please continue with your point. I do apologize.
It's been a fun day. I'm not surprised that all the teams seem super happy, super chill. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to have a good time. It was about improvement. It's coach's call. Everyone here came in at a certain level, and the goal was to come out, show out, have a good show, get a little bit better at Valorant, and donate to raise money for an amazing cause, which we have done all of those objectives today, and we are still getting even more donations in. So I'm not surprised that everyone is super happy. I know between series we got to talk to Kate for a little bit, and she is over the moon with how happy she is with how everything's going. Game number 2 of the day did not disappoint either. So yeah. There's just so much love and happiness to go around. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun couple of series that we've managed to witness here in Moneyverso. I know that even though you weren't on the desk, you were still watching that first series between Paneko's Kittens and Curse Crusaders. And the tenacity of Paneko's Kittens to have gone as far as they did, I think, is a testament to the squad. And with the way that the Pearl game shaked up, you know, honestly, it was still one of those moments where it felt like, man, this could still go either way. Paneko's Kittens is really punching above their weight right now.
Yeah, actually, Paneko's Kittens, I think they weren't hoping that they get a close match like that, you know? So it was really, really nice to see Paneko's Kittens not give up or not surrender when the other team just went a little more rounds opener than them. So I actually enjoyed not only casting this last series, but seeing the first one. So yeah, it could have been for any one of them, and I was hoping to get onto Ascent because third game from a team that was like, okay, let's chill out. There wasn't a lot of tension, and they weren't like bumping into each other or changing the strategies just because. They were doing a great teamwork, and I think it would have been better to see a third map. But hey, GG will play to both of them teams.
Very well played to both of these teams. And, Sora, now we get to look forward to tomorrow, the Ciero Miedo versus Sin Thieves matchup. And I have a feeling that is going to be nothing short of explosive. And I think we're going to have to be buckling up for the full ride, the full 3-map spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely. My Heavenly Emperor and notable EGOT winner. I forgot about those two. Sorry, I had to sneak them in.
Can we put that on there? Heavenly Emperor?
Yeah. No, tomorrow's going to be an absolute banger. I mean, these are the two best teams in the tournament, obviously proven that. We can see the stat line here. I mean, really good performance from Paneko's Kittens. Like he said, it really did feel like at times they could have closed it out. But when you have a team like Ciero, who obviously in game number 1 just was dominated by Ink, who put up an incredible performance, Ink ends up taking away or leaving the roster because they were just a substitute. And then you have Kiki, who is filling that same slot and immediately comes in and MVPs themselves. It's just a little difficult to overcome, but that does mean that Ciero Miedo is going to be going up against Sin Thieves, and Sin Thieves were obviously amazing yesterday, flawless in their victory. Ciero Miedo, I think, only lost to them, so it's going to be a little bit of a grudge match, a revenge match for them. I don't think there could have been a better way to end this tournament.
I couldn't agree more. And these stats, Moniverso, is just telling us everything that we need to know about what has been going on here. And to be completely frank, right, it really could have gone any which way, even down to the very final rounds, even down to the very final moments. And I think, again, it speaks to the momentum that Paneko's Kittens was able to build for themselves, that they got that far just off of the sort of plays that we saw, even against the superior, overwhelming first bloods that Ciero Miedo threw against them. And of course, we get to take a look at the MVP for Ciero Miedo, Kiki. Moniverso, I mean, like, with stats like this, they were determined to win.
Yes, of course. And look at the headshot rate, like 27.3%. It's something that Kiki learned from G2, from Baby Bay, and from Jogimo. Finally, I can actually say that, because those stats are actually really nice for being a duelist, specifically Phoenix, telling us that not only the run it back ult was used on point, but the power that Kiki was doing, it was amazing. Like, it was really on point. She was really on fire. She was feeling the Phoenix on herself. At that point, she was like, think like the Phoenix, be the Phoenix, and it worked out. And getting the first slots for Team 9 again, yeah, it was amazing. Like, Kiki did a really great job, and overall, all the team.
Well, I think that we have had our fun here on the desk, Soren and Moniverso. I think we've had great discussions across a multitude of the maps that we got to witness today. And I just want to say that it has been an absolute pleasure to sit down with the both of you and Mint earlier on in the day and getting to talk about the greatness that has been Coach's Call and the greatness that has been Valorant. But there is still a little bit more that I need to talk about with all of you out there in the chat and out there on Twitch watching us right now, including to make sure that you don't forget what we are all here to do. I'm gonna wave goodbye to our casters. Love you, Soren. Love you, Moniverso. Thank you so much for all of your hard work today. Let's go ahead and give a round of applause for our casters here who helped guide us through all of those crazy series and all of those crazy maps. Now it's just me yet again with just all of you. So I do want to talk a little bit about, of course, the Ohgawdevents. Make sure that you guys understand what exactly that we're doing here. And it's the community behind it that makes Coach's Call so special. The Ohgawdevents community and the Ohgawd Cake community built around inclusivity, encouragement, education, and creating opportunities for people to grow both inside and outside of gaming. And of course, many of the players, staff, talent, and viewers involved have participated in previous Ohgawdevents tournaments, charity streams, community game nights, and educational broadcasts and watch parties together over the years. And, a huge part of all of this is to be able to show off the talent across many different varieties. And that's one of the cool parts about Coach's Call is the differing ranks and the differing levels of skill that we have and how the coaches are able to forge them into that little bit of extra greatness. Again, that's also what Coaches Call gives us. It's a 2.5-week program where coaches and community coaches and experienced players come in, they work with their drafted teams, and we get something like this, where we get Coaches Call in all of its beauty. And so we really want to say a big thank you again to all of the coaches, all of the players that have given us their time, that have given us their valuable and precious skills, and to everything that they did to make this happen. And we want to say, of course, a big thank you to our sponsors, where this would have been possible without some of their help to have made this happen. Those sponsors being Corsair and Zinni Optical. Corsair creates high-performance gaming gear and streaming equipment used by gamers, creators, and esports professionals around the world. Their support helps us continue creating high-quality community events and opportunities for players to grow and compete. Make sure to use your code OHGAWDKATE to get some percentages off. And Zinni Optical, leading eyewear company focused on making stylish and affordable vision care accessible to everyone. Through their continued support of the gaming and esports space, they've helped us further support both our community initiatives and charity efforts throughout Coaches Call. Make sure to use the code OHGAWDKATE again for some money off. And I do want to mention that we have some special things going on tomorrow. Kate wanted me to let you all know that they're actually going to have some special guest appearances that they're going to be talking with a couple of some very famous GC coaches out there. For WADA, we have a head coach for WADA coming out to talk with us, Declan. And then we also have Ashton Windler, the assistant coach for PaperX, coming to talk with us as well, or coming to talk with Kate, rather. Special guest appearance, guys. This is going to be such a cool opportunity. It's going to be such a cool interview that Kate is going to be doing with the both of them. So make sure that you do not miss out on that. It's going to be happening tomorrow, like you saw, at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. And I also want to talk a little bit about, we're going to be doing some really cool player awards happening tomorrow. Sort of a neat little community voting that players and viewers get to do to be able to vote on MVP, funniest moment on the broadcast, fashionista, the team that we believed were the underdogs, and nail biter moments where, holy cow, how is this going to go and how is this going to happen? So again, some really cool things that we have going on in the background as well. So make sure that you are not going to miss tomorrow's grand final event. It's going to be great. It's going to be spectacular. A lot of really cool things happening outside of the grand finals matchup, of course, between Ciero, Miedo, and Sin Thieves. And as always, this is all going to benefit the crisis text line, of which we have raised a unbelievable amount of money so far, $1,067, and we have a new goal of $1,267.67. But I've had enough talking for myself. My name is Sam Talks. It's been an absolute pleasure to hang out with all of you on the broadcast today. Thank you, chat, so much for watching.